Hello guys, it is me back again, and this time I actually have my face camera on. You can see I am wearing a nice shirt because of my brother's graduation from elementary school. It just happened today. Really nice. So basically, yeah, you were all asking when am I going to continue reading the script of Songs of War. Here it is. This is the first part of reading script for my voice. First part of reading script 3, and I have my friends here as well to continue reading.
Yeah.
Thing is, okay, a thing to note, I'm just going to say this, we're not going to get through that much. The season's extremely long. Like, as far as I know, like, last time I checked, we were barely past the halfway point when we finished season 2 in the script. So, yeah, it's long. In fact, the last 2 episodes are like 100 pages long. This is stuff that's going to take days to do, and I actually have to go to my cousin's cottage at like 2 days from now, and I won't be able to record anything like this then, so we'll have to take a week-long break. I'm just doing this now. It's actually really late at night. It's like almost 10. I'm doing this now so that we can at least get some of this done until we have to take a week-long break off of it. I might be able to do a bit of it tomorrow, but I can't guarantee it, because I'll have to be preparing. So it's only a possibility. This might be the only one until, like, 1 week from now. Anyway, I have my friends here. Big thanks to them for joining me again. Major thanks. So I'm going to... Okay, also, another thing. Spoilers for all 3 seasons of Songs of War at this point, because we're on to Season 3. There'll be spoilers for Season 1 and Season 2. Also, and yeah, check out the first season if you want to know more about Songs of War. Watch it. I guess it's kind of interesting. I would recommend it. I don't know if everyone watching this would be into it, but like I would definitely recommend it to people. I think most of my viewers already know what it is, but anyway. So yeah, make sure to watch the first season, and you could watch, actually, the other videos in this script reading series before this, so that we don't spoil anything for you, and you can actually still watch us reacting to those ones. But anyway, I think that's enough time. Actually, so where do we leave off? We left off at the end of Season 2, right?
Like at the end of Season 2.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I knew that, but like, after we'd finished, basically, the summary of what happened, and this is your last spoiler warning, guys. I'm going to start saying spoilers here for Season 2. Last thing that happened, Feldon went big oof. The Netherins are now invading the whole world, all of Verdonia, and they have the Voltaris on their side again. They also, and not only that, I think I lost my train of thought for a second. They have, so yeah. So now we have our protagonists and heroes are trying to team up and get rid and defeat them. But also, they have a mysterious ally who we believe might be Herobrine, but actually I still have my doubts because David specifically, or maybe not David, but someone else in the production team specifically said Herobrine's not a character, he's just a legend. But I'll tell you what, I really want it to be Herobrine. That's what I'm gonna say. I really want it to be. So yeah, I'm going to start. Actually, I have to wait until Murray gets back. But after that, I'm going to start. Actually, wait. I have notifications from the chat, but I'm not going to check it. I'm not going to check it because it would mess up the recording. So, guys, if you see anything important in the chat on this group chat, please report it to me and tell me what happened.
Okay.
Because I won't be checking it myself.
You are.
Change my status right now.
Yeah.
And change it to Do Not Disturb. And recording.
You don't have tissues
Video.
on me. This is going to be a crisis.
Wait, so which episodes are we?
We
1 and 2 or?
I don't know. I actually want it. I'm honestly, I'm just trying to get as far as we can.
The episodes are.
I feel like
Stop.
we should just do maybe 1
Okay,
and 2.
There's background noise. I want to go at least further than 2 episodes because it will just be more work after 1 week.
As well. We'll see.
I just want to see maybe if the episodes are really short, which I doubt.
I
I doubt that
probably
myself.
They're-
They're probably
they're
really
longer.
long.
They're longer.
Alright.
I had background noise for a second. People were talking in the background. Script. Where is? So about past the halfway point.
You can look up season 3.
Wait,
and
sorry.
just-
Season 3, episode 1. Is that what it's? Oh no, that's
Season 3.
just
The
it's
first
season 3. There we go.
season
Season 3,
three.
episode
There
1.
Dun, dun,
Works.
dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so here we start. It doesn't start off immediately where the last one left off. It says, the scene opens in the Great War, but unlike the Season 1 opening, it does not cut away. The battle rages on. The camera moves in and begins following a Nether in the action, and he witnesses the Nether King, Kronos, rally the army. Wait, no, the Nether... Pythis wasn't... Oh, sorry, no, it says Kronos, not Pythis. I can't read.
Big brain. Big brain.
I was about to say,
Clown.
Pythis was not the king of the Nether in the time of the Great War.
No.
But it says Kronos, not Pythis. Just then an Ender Dragon flies overhead and kills the Wither nearby. The Wither falls to the ground dead. Kronos hurries over to the Wither and puts his hand on it, saddened by its death. Kronos is actually like a more kind of a caring guy compared to Pythis.
I like Kronos.
Yeah, I like Kronos.
I actually saw his lines in the casting call, and he said that, and the casting call said that he actually retreated from the overworld because he wanted to protect the lives of his people because they were going to lose the war, and also his children.
Exactly. What a smart boy.
He's actually
Smart.
kind of a good. He's kind of a sweet guy actually for like a tyrant.
He's sweet.
He's a good dude. He's a good guy.
There's this
Yeah.
one
Now I feel
character
bad
that
for
I
him
love.
because he got killed by his own son too, Pythis.
I know.
Yeah, that's just brutal.
There's
That's
this
just
like one
sad.
character that we'll meet this episode that I absolutely love. So
Is it Volcanus? Because I saw him in the
no,
casting
it's
call.
not. It's. Hold on, let me just DM.
Is it Herobrine?
No.
Yeah, so
it's not
Nimuri and
character.
Sine have already read the
It's
entire
that
thing. It's
character.
just Infin here who hasn't, and me. It's that
Yes.
character. I don't even know what. I have no clue what she's talking about, guys. I genuinely have no idea.
I'll tell you when the
Okay.
time comes.
The Ender Dragon lands, and the Ender King, King Rendor, dismounts. Ender Blade against Nether Blade. The two kings fight. Rendor gets the upper hand and knocks Kronos down. The Netherin that the scene has initially been following runs out from the crowd towards Kronos, but stops as Kronos puts up a hand. Kronos staggers back as Rendor beats him down again. Rendor is about to kill Kronos when suddenly a blur of energy erupts between him and the Death Singer appears. He quickly fights back Rendor and attacks the Ender Dragon. Rendor is like a beast right now. While they are
Wow,
confused,
My
I-
boy,
Yeah,
aggressive.
you can't say
Save
that
the boy.
Rendor.
That's right. That's right.
What can you say? You can't really say that Rendor isn't a good warrior for being defeated by Ingressus because the Ingressus is literally, along with Achillean, the best of the best.
Yeah, he's literally the best of the best.
He
Yeah.
quickly fights back Rendor and attacks the Ender Dragon. While they're confused, he picks up Kronos. As he turns to leave, the Ender Dragon breathes fire onto his back, burning him despite his attempts to shield himself with another song.
Oh,
Oh man, my boy! He quickly sorry, did I say raps? He quickly raps away to safety. He quickly warps away to safety with Kronos. So now the Nether army closes in on Rendor, who mounts his dragon and flies up over the crowd and swoops down and ignites a lot of the Nether army as well as some Voltaris. The Death Singer watches as some Voltaris burn and looks up to see Rendor pointing his sword down at Death Singer threateningly, then flies off.
Oh no.
Oh my god, Rendor is genocidal.
Taurus boys.
Rendor commits a genocide.
Oh my god.
I thought Thalius was the only one who was doing it.
Why'd you have
love-
to say it like that?
I just love
Why
how
did you
we're
put it like
rooting
that?
for the freaking Death Singer.
We must root
I mean-
for the Voltaris.
I mean, he's a villain, but he's like a really
Why
good
would you even
character.
say it
Really
like
well written
that?
character.
Stars are actually quite tragic. I really
Commit genocide.
They are the bad guys. They're just like the really tragic bad guys.
yes, indeed.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, the Death Singer watches. Okay, I already read that part. The Netherin hurries over to Kronos, and the scene fades to later. Voices can finally be heard, slowly fading in and sounding echoey and out of focus. I won't have the rest of my people slaughtered fighting this meaningless war, Ingressus,
I'm still the Death Singer, right?
Yeah, you're still the Death Singer.
Okay.
Always.
Yes, okay. Okay. We have an alliance, Kronos. If you break that alliance, we will both perish.
We cannot defeat this combined strength of the Ender Knights, the Six Kingdoms, and the Ardoni. We must retreat. He's kind of speaking facts, I'm not gonna lie. Suddenly, Epiphas' voice breaks in. If we retreat, you will bring shame upon your lineage and question upon your right to the crown.
Oh, no.
Kronos considers it for a moment. I would rather save the lives of our people and of you, Pythis, and you, Volcanus. Kronos addresses the viewer.
There will be no
Direct-
lineage.
Kronos.
Kill them right now.
I actually like Kronos. He's kind of a.
Kronos, exactly.
He's not really a bad guy.
Oh wait.
Wait, he is in the Nether.
He's already there?
Kronos
He's already there.
just goes to a deeper layer of the Nether. Like, you know how in
The 10th
Minecraft
layer of
Story
hell.
Mode Season 2, there's like the prison, and then there's like the
Oh my
layer
God,
below the bedrock?
Yes,
Just send him there.
Yes.
Send him there.
Should we go there?
Send him there.
Oh my God.
Ah, yes.
Kronos addresses the viewer directly and shows the Netherins acknowledging. Pythis looks angry still and grips his axe tightly. Kronos is actually a really honorable guy. Like,
Yes.
he wants to save his people.
Kronos stands.
I kinda like
Kronos
him.
stands.
Yes,
Kronos
yes,
stands.
I thought he was supposed to be a
Kronos
bad guy.
yes.
Fades into the Nether. Volcanus is alone in the throne room. He turns around and sees Pythis confronting Kronos on the throne. A few Netherins and Wither skeletons behind him. So, did he not start a civil war by killing Pythis? Sorry, no. Did he not start a civil war by killing Kronos? Because I don't think that everyone would just automatically become loyal to him.
I have
Suddenly,
no
Pythis
idea.
stabs Kronos, and Volcanus wakes from the dream abruptly.
The poor boy.
Can I be
Kronos-
Volcanus? I want to be Volcanus. I don't know
Yes,
why.
yes.
Be
do it,
Volcanus.
Do it.
Alright.
I hope Volcanus gets revenge on him.
We shall see.
Please.
Volcanus
Please.
is having a dream. Aw, poor boy.
My man.
Aww.
I feel so
nightmare.
bad for
Any
Kronos,
of him.
honestly.
Kronos
is
be
such a
vibing in
good
the afterlife.
boy.
No.
Yeah, he a good
Kronos
boy.
is- Kronos is kind of sweet, actually. Volcanus stops and looks
gets
around him.
Alongside
The music is
right
quiet
intentions.
and slightly foreboding. He gets to the bed and walks across the room. He passes a sleeping baby Gas, who opens her eyes and looks up at Volcanus past him.
Yes. Yes.
A baby Gas!
Yes. This is the character I was
Oh my
talking
God.
about, this baby
If
Gas.
this,
Oh,
I swear that
Yeah.
they're gonna
I was
they're gonna
talking-
kill this Gas, and it's gonna make me feel awful. I
was-
swear.
No,
Oh,
I was
God.
talking about the baby Gas.
baby,
I was talking about the baby Gas.
I know, but they're if they kill this Gas so that I can feel bad, then like
If she doesn't have a canon name, I will create one for her.
Is his father on steroids. I already know.
No.
no. Why?
Why is this so funny all of a sudden?
I
We're
can't.
supposed to
I'm
be
not
reading
gonna get
this
that
finish.
far into this if we keep doing this.
Oh. God.
Oh my goodness.
We're not even past the
Why?
first
Okay.
We're only gonna be able to do
Volcanus
2
walks.
episodes of this.
Yeah. Volcanus walks out onto the balcony, and the camera slides back, revealing Crown Peak. The city is full of lava, netherrack, and wither skeletons patrol the streets. The city moves
Gosh.
around between various
Aw.
cities of Ardonia. All the capitals are in equally bad states, except Tartarus, which isn't shown. Carfin
Yeah,
literally.
Carfin.
Did not have a
Smart.
beacon. They're smart. I'm gonna quickly drink
Smart
Broke their
some
Megan.
water. I
GG.
love myself a good cold water.
F in the chat for igneous.
Oh man, you did not have to remind me of that. One of my favorite characters, and he died in season 2.
I have no shame.
I know you
I
don't.
still don't have my soul.
I knew it was going to happen, but it did not make it hurt any less.
I
Exactly,
thought he would
that's
at
how I
least
felt
last
when
until the
Stallion
3rd
died.
season.
Also, fun fact.
I thought the Valley
in the
would last a bit
commentary-
longer too,
also, fun fact,
honestly.
in the commentary of David said,
No, because it's
to be-
season. It would season.
no, it's not.
Is it
spoilers
season
for
3 spoilers?
No, it's not. But
Oh.
basically, in the commentary, David actually said that Igneous's death was supposed to be a lot more painful than written on script.
Oh man. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I
He
don't
was
want to
supposed to,
think
like,
about it.
He was literally supposed to, like, even after having an arm ripped off, he was gonna still try and fight Malachi, and he's gonna be, like, bleeding out, and then he would, like,
How
and
would
it's
they even
gonna
have
be a lot more
animated
sad
that?
and emotional.
Like,
And there's
BBS
gonna be,
does
like,
not even animate
flashbacks
blood
and all that
or
stuff.
wounds or
I
anything.
wanna watch
How are they going
that,
to
I'm
animate?
sorry.
How are they even going to animate something like that? Like, that's my
This
question.
is the most pure boy
Oh, good
comes
lord.
of war ever.
Okay. Shows some people being.
Deserve
Poor
it.
boy.
I'm trying to read it. I'm going to read the script. Okay. Shows some people being ushered
Yeah.
through nether portals and being taken into the nether to work as slaves and mine for ores. Well, that's not nice. Slavery's kind of bad.
Bruh.
Not nice at
Back to
all.
Crown Peak. Deathsinger walks up the stairs leading to the throne and stops before Pyphis, who is with a few other nether soldiers. Pyphis.
Soldiers.
Big brain.
I now sit upon the throne of not only one, but 2 dimensions. Honestly,
Oh my
like,
God.
at least Alistair's not there.
I like.
Pyphis,
kinda
you can
like
take the
that.
throne
I
as
kinda
long
like
as Alistair's not on it.
There doesn't have it.
Once I have...
Alistair's dead.
I would rather Pyphis than Alistair. Once I have had my fun. Once I have had my... I can't start the line without laughing now.
Water and I can't because
Okay.
I'm laughing.
Once I have had
Oh
my
my
fun
word.
with the overworld and expunged whatever resources it has to offer me, I think I will visit the end. I will conquer that dimension as well and defeat the girl who calls herself Queen.
Yeet. I'm pleased to know that you have everything we agreed on.
Oh, I have a lot more than what we agreed. But you, still only 2...
Ooh.
What? I messed up on my... Still only 2 prime songs. 2 prime songs, man. 2 prime songs. Like, 150 years,
Two
so I got
prime
4
songs,
prime
get your
songs.
act
Not...
together.
Okay, that's me
Big brain.
improving. You know I could help you, but the sooner you get the prime songs, the sooner you'll no longer need my help. And what then? Pyphis looks up at the Death Singer, who squints as he tries to detect if
Scam.
Pyphis is questioning their allegiance.
I assure you, King Pythis, I have no desire to sit on the thrones or to rule Ardonia.
Pyphis be
What
like,
is your
press
plan,
X to
dude?
doubt.
Bro.
Pyphis is like, press X to doubt here. Pyphis stands up from the throne and paces around. Of course not. That's what they all...
This is
Wait, I'm trying to read the
literally
line.
complete opposite of
Sorry.
Injustice in the Dark Horizon.
Of course not.
Bruh.
That's what they all say, until they've been given a taste of power. Until you have felt it for yourself. Get
No, stop.
it? I like you, Ingressus. You're wiser than most, but do not mistake this alliance as even the slightest form of friendship. Pyphis returns to his throne.
What a jerk.
He's still better than Alistair. Pyphis returns to his throne. Deathsinger turns to... It's not much to say he's better than Alistair, okay? That still makes him very awful. Pyphis returns to his throne. Deathsinger turns to leave to avoid further argument. Cuts to the Redstone Academy. Oh, the Redstone Academy, finally. I was actually interested to find out what this place would be. Like, is it a place where people learn how to do redstone? I'm guessing.
Most likely.
Probably.
Wither skeletons guard the area, and for most part, it's empty. An engineer is working on a large
Aw.
redstone contraption in the lower levels of the academy. He's flipping switches and running redstone wires everywhere. He stops for a moment to gauge his work. A wither skeleton approaches to inspect his work. This guy wasn't in the casting call, so he wasn't in Lucha's casting page.
Yeah, because the casting calls for season 2 only.
No, it's for season 3. It says it's for season 3 as well. I think.
I think. Oh, really?
Because it has
Right.
Scorch, and
Minor
Scorch does not appear in season 2. And also it
can
says
do you
it's
wanna
season
play?
3.
Yes, yes.
Maybe Frederick was already
I'm
voiced.
Take Freddy.
Okay, yeah,
Freddy.
you can take Freddy. I met less for me
I
to
like
read.
him.
I read way
My
too
uncle's
much.
name is Fred, by the way.
I think I have like a great uncle who's named Fred, at least.
Is he an engineer?
No,
Yes,
I don't
actually,
think
he is.
so. Not for me, but like, okay, that's the chances.
It just
The
dawned on me. I was
chances.
just like, oh wait, he is right.
This is your uncle. It's literally your uncle.
Oh.
Well then.
Okay, read the line.
Did you finish reading the gray text?
Yes, I did. I did. A wither skeleton approaches
Okay.
to inspect his work.
Okay. Yeah, you might not want to touch that. It's very expensive and you might damage it. Oh, and it also might kill you.
I love
I
him.
love him!
This is a girl. I love this guy
He's
already.
awesome.
The wither skeleton stops and backs up to his position guarding. As he does that, a few skeletons hurry past, and the wither skeleton follows. Frederick is left alone.
Does this mean I'm free to go?
Thalia's voice, no. Frederick
No.
moves to the top of the Redstone Academy. The
Oh
wither
my
skeletons are
God.
formed up behind the main door. Someone's attacking, isn't it? Suddenly, a bang is heard on the outside of the door. All the skeletons are tense.
Wait,
Another
wait.
bang. Frederick is looking worried and squats down. I almost said shuts down for cover. What the? Squats down for cover. Another bang, and then the lock holding the door falls to the floor for clang, and the doors slide open. Light pours in, and the skeletons cheer their eyes. Yo, it's the Knights of Verdonia, my boys. Light pours in, and the skeletons shield their eyes from the light. The door is opening, revealed Hubris and Greek. Sorry, did I say Greek? Greek. Greg.
Oh my god.
Greg. Sorry, Greek.
Heck, my boy.
Oh man. I feel like I've been developing a Tom Aglio laugh, like that's a total Tom Aglio laugh. Like that's the laugh you hear him say in any of the streams. I can literally do the Tom Aglio laugh so well.
Oh no!
Hubris fires a volley of energized projectiles from a song, and Greg rushes. I made so many mistakes.
Oh dear.
And Greg
Oh,
rushes in
dear.
after the confusion and begins hacking away at the wither skeletons. Hubris cuts a wither skeleton's arm off. My man! But it continues to fight. Greg turns from where he is fighting and he notices Hubris struggling. Man can't defeat a wither skeleton with one arm? The wither skeleton's a beast!
We don't talk about that.
Hubris, you gotta go for their weak spots. Hubris fights a bit more and stops for the ribs, which does nothing. He doesn't. What are you supposed to attack? The head?
Hubris, come on!
Greg is fighting with his back to his enemies. No, it just like spawns more heads. Hydra skeleton. Greg is fighting with his back to his enemies, more focused on watching Hubris. He manages to take at least 2 wither skeletons down. Weak spots, Hubris. They're skeletons, Greg. They don't have any weak spots. The wither skeleton knocks Hubris down and back.
I love these two
Hubris
dynamics.
grabs his sword to defend himself as the wither skeleton's about to strike him. Suddenly, Greg's hands can be seen ripping the skeleton's head off. Yeah, the head, weak spot. Did you not? You didn't think? Maybe?
I said that!
I'm talking about Hubris, not you. This seems to always do the trick
No,
for
so,
me.
Well, basically, in like the commentary, David did mention how like Hubris and Greg have like a relationship. Not like that.
Oh,
my God.
no, don't go there.
No, absolutely not!
Okay, my
Oh,
very
no.
favorite line. My very favorite line in season 2. Greg turns to Hubris. He says, "Hubris, turn your lights up." Hubris says, "I can't."
That's the best line!
No, the best line is Kiyoshi saying,
My favorite
"She's a
line
Felina
ever.
female, Luke, and it's exactly the type of tail you want to chase." I love that line. I love that line. Also, the one from
Oh my
actually
God.
one of the lines way back in season 1 I liked as well, where Lucan says, "Which night are we talking about? I get my Felina girls mixed up." That was one of my favorite lines from season 1 as
That was
well.
the golden line!
So fat.
It's so it's like
whoa, no.
it's like whoa, man. It's like a big pointy
Hold
stick
on.
moment right there.
Oh
Okay,
my God!
help me.
No!
Permission to ban Poseidon.
Yes!
Who's gonna take over the stream?
No, I'm kidding.
Who's taking over the stream?
I will know.
Oh my god.
just like don't have an owner. Every man a streamer. Huey Long.
Oh my god.
Anarchy. Okay.
Yes,
So Greg
anarchy.
holds the head up as the body falls over limb. He then tosses the head of the nearby skeleton who's attempting to get back up, injured. The skeleton plops back down. That reminds me of that scene from you know what how in Blocking Dead somebody like froze somebody froze a fish at a zombie and it falls. I think that's what happened.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
I don't
Save
know
it one apart.
actually.
Apparently a fish can defeat a drug, so.
Right?
I mean, it didn't defeat the
The fish
drug,
is
it just
the
knocked it
Why didn't
over.
they just get a lot of fish? They should have just hired a Killian to like fish up a bunch of fish and then use them as a weapon.
Exactly!
He's a
Exactly!
fisher. Should have hired my uncle. He's like
a
a pro
fisher.
fisherman.
No, we need to hire a Killian.
Maybe my uncle is a Killian. Have you ever thought of that?
Fish. Oh my God.
Oh my
Ria's
god.
going to kill us when she finds what we've done. You mean she's going to kill you? It was your idea to go against her orders and sneak out on this secret mission. And you came along, only because I knew you'd need my help. Greg pats Hubris' back.
There it
Just
is!
help me find the
There it
engineers.
is.
Just help me find the engineers.
Aw,
Hubris
these guys
picks
are
back
best
up.
buds.
I love this duo already. Hubris picks back up his weapon As the fight ends, Frederick reveals himself on the edge of the balcony and looks down at them.
If you're looking for engineers, you come to the right place. Well, actually, you didn't because the Nether came here first and took everyone. Everyone but me, that is.
They speak to Frederick as he approaches them. We heard the Death Stinger is attempting to create a red... I just made his voice really weird all of a sudden. We heard the Death Stinger is attempting to create a redstone device to locate prime songs.
Technically, the Death Singer isn't creating any such device. I'm sure he doesn't even know how to wire a piston to a lever.
SMH noobs.
Roasted!
I'm kind of a redstone enthusiast myself, actually. A little bit. But a device is being made, is it not?
Only an experienced engineer like myself could create such a device. My name's
Why are you
Frederick.
creating a
Don't call me
device
my
for
class
them?
here at the Redstone Academy.
He's forced to, obviously.
I mean, if you can say...
Die?
Well, then you can justify
He's
Solomon,
being
then,
forced
because he
to.
would have died if he didn't give up the prime song, and you don't want to justify Solomon.
Yeah.
What the
You
heck
can't
is
use the-
that line.
So you can't use double standards here, or break double standards, or whatever the term is.
Okay, wait.
At
I need
this
to see
point,
if I can read this line.
Hubris glances towards the entrance.
Granted.
We're not here to stay. Are you able to take the device with you?
Oh my god, that line. Do you have any idea how large
love
a
that.
triple T flip-flop hexadecimal redstone gyroscopic triangulator is?
Oh my god!
Nailed it! I got it!
Amazing!
Hey!
You should have been his voice actor. The script should have rewritten this character as a female and then cast you.
I got
True that.
it!
Look, kid, we don't know
Hey,
anything about your
Frida.
triangle redstonating. Redstonating. Red's a noob.
Gross.
Redstonating, whatever. But we need to leave with it now.
Right, I suppose we can just extract the core and rebuild the rest later. A lot of work went down the drain.
Hurry then, we'll prepare for our departure.
Aw.
Frederick hurries back into the Redstone Academy. Hubris and Greg walk towards the door. Still think this mission was a good idea? It's for the best, whether the captain agrees or not. Greg squints in the distance as they stand outside the academy. What is that? What is what? Something's coming. What's coming? You don't see it? I thought Jags had good eyesight. Hubris, we don't need to see beyond the reach of our sword to kill an enemy. Hubris keeps looking, then gets worried. It's a wither! Get back inside! Okay, that escalated quickly. You went right from joking to... It went right from joking to, like, it's a wither. God.
Run!
They hurry back inside as Frederick returns from death to the academy carrying a strange compass. I brought the core.
I brought
Wait, no,
the core,
sorry.
but it still
My
needs
bad.
more work. My line!
No time. There's a wither coming. We have to
My
leave
line.
now. No time. There's a wither coming. We have to leave now. Is there any other way out of the academy?
Not anymore, but the Nether sealed the subterranean railroad to prevent us from escaping.
Hubris turns toward the opening. He
Oh,
looks
that's
frustrated and determined. Go now. They all hurry outside and dash towards nearby trees. They stop behind them once there and catch their breath. I always confuse behind and beside. I always do that.
Behind and beside, bruh.
Catching breath. Wither is shown behind them. Bassing. It's like
Oh my
a bass
goodness.
flying, a bass fish
Stroke.
just flying by. You got like fishing rodded by a billion just getting flung past the trees. The wither is shown behind them, passing through between the trees, heading towards the Redstone Academy. Hubris motions for them to follow, and they begin sneaking away. One of the wither's three heads turns toward them, and the wither sees him and moves to attack.
Oh.
What now? We can't kill a wither, it's too powerful.
Yeet.
I thought you'd relish in this opportunity. I mean, I'd love to fight a wither, I just don't want to, right now. That was one of the casting call lines, actually. Yeah, whatever.
Greg.
I'm afraid we don't have a choice. Come on. Hubris fires a defensive song again, which hurts the wither slightly, who in turn fires a volley of projectiles back. Hubris evades them as Greg runs forward to attack. The wither backs up enough to evade Greg's attack, and presses forward on Greg until Hubris attacks him from behind. The wither turns two of its three heads and begins attacking Hubris and Greg simultaneously.
Bruh.
Over shredded and miss, and Hubris' eyes
Wow.
dilate. Greg, however, appears unaffected by the wither effect and simply swats the mist away. He turns to see Hubris looking at him, approaching. Oh no, is it the same thing that happened to Nika and Marcus? It's gotta be, right? What's wrong with you?
No!
That was necromancer's
No,
sister.
Hubris! No, my man!
Oh,
Couldn't-
no!
Doesn't I'm looking at the script, bruh.
I'm not worried because, like, he didn't even manage to kill a wither skeleton that had its arm ripped off. He can't defeat Greg.
True
Oh my
that.
god, he can't kill Greg. No.
Amateur.
Great, now I gotta fight you
too.
too?
Killing Greg.
Greg
I'm sorry.
stands off
he
against-
had a Magnerite in an arm lock, in a headlock.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Nagrite's supposed to be like the toughest things on Earth.
Decadents are like, ooh,
I love them.
Sorry, not-
OP.
they're OP.
They are
So-
overpowered. Very overpowered. Greg sends off against Hubris and the Wither Skeleton. Wait, the Wither Skeleton? I think it's the Wither, not the Wither Skeleton. Frederick hiding at a safe distance behind. The Wither appears to be utilizing all of its focus on controlling Hubris and is unable to fight at the same time. If the Wither dies, then Hubris is fine, I'm guessing. They fight for a bit, then
Yeah,
Greg
I think
knocks
so.
Hubris down.
Yeah.
Ha, I always knew I could beat you in a fight. Hubris gets back up and continues to engage Greg. Oh, come on, it ain't fair if I can't kill you.
Wow.
Do that.
They continue fighting for a moment until a rumbling growl is heard.
I can just
I love
imagine a
these
blooper
two.
Where, like, he actually kills Hubris. Just imagine.
Oh my
Please
god.
make that a thing.
Oh my god.
Please.
Blooper.
Can they at least animate bloopers if they don't animate the full thing?
Oh, man.
And an Ender Dragon lands with a heavy thud on the nearby rock. Wait, an Ender Dragon? It's Thunderdome!
Ooh.
And Denny!
Yes, Denny!
My boy!
Woo!
Camera tilts up to reveal Thunderdome with Denny on top. Denny draws his sword and now faces off against the Wither, which releases Hubris. Yeah! The Wither rushes towards
Yeah,
Thunderdome.
yeah.
Fires a few projectiles. Thunderdome's redemption arc. I love it.
Yes.
And fires a few projectiles, causing Thunderdome to jump off his rock and soar downwards to gain speed. The Wither pursues him. Thunderdome is speeding between tall pines and Platius? What?
We don't
Platius?
talk about that.
What the-
Plateaus.
Plateaus! Followed closely by the Wither,
Oh
who
my
is
God.
continuously firing
Oh
upon him.
my word.
Just end me.
Hey guys,
Just
guess
end me
what?
upon them.
Gallius and Dalius have a brother named Pliny.
That's now canon. Canon. Phalius and Gallius have a brother called Platius.
No,
It was
please.
one of their brothers.
One of their brothers that was killed. No.
Platius.
Oh my god.
Platius. Does he have a sword made out of platinum? Platius.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Because we got gallium, you got gallium, and now we got platinum.
Gallium, thallium,
Oh my
and
God.
platinum. I can't even read this script without laughing at this point. Okay.
Oh my.
Okay, follow closely by the Wither, who is continuously firing upon them. Denny draws a bow and fires backward at the Wither, injuring it. Thunderdome uses it to spin around backwards and comes upon the Wither from below, breathing fire at it. Denny slices it with his sword just after.
Ooh.
He slices the Wither! Oh no, that's not dead yet.
Hey.
The Wither now severely injured. This man was like a farmer not long ago. He's kind of like the new Abigail, actually.
Right?
The Wither now severely
You don't know.
injured begins backing up.
Abigail
Thunderdome
2.0.
sweeps forward, but a volley of projectiles. He's basically Abigail 2 Electric Boogaloo. But a volley of projectiles hits Thunderdome and knocks Denny off. Oh no! Thunderdome dives down. Actually, no, he catches
Oh.
Denny. Thunderdome dives down and catches Denny as another volley approaches. Thunderdome raises his wing around Denny to protect him from the volley. Thunderdome looks up angry and clashes. No! My voice! And charges towards the Wither.
Bruh.
Another volley narrowly
Tigrin.
misses Thunderdome as he flies overhead and grabs onto the Wither with his hind legs, ripping two of its free heads off. The Wither skeleton howls in pain.
Woohoo!
Howls in pain and begins flying away. Thunderdome swoops down and grabs Denny as they pursue it. Then he fires another arrow which hits the Wither's final head in the center, killing it with a loud burst of energy as a Nether star falls from the sky. Thunderdome flies beneath the Nether star and Denny catches it.
Need that.
Back to Hubris and Greg. Greg helps Hubris up and he looks around. Well, what happened? Not much. We fought each other. I won, as expected. What happened to you?
Oh my word.
Thunderdome lands nearby with
Wow.
Denny on top. Hubris and Greg turn towards them. I kind of like reading Greg's voice in a TF2 soldier voice, actually. Turn towards them. We owe you our thanks, Abigail, but before you reprimand us for it, then he takes his helmet off, not really noticing Hubris' mistake and speaks to them. You guys alright? You could have gotten yourselves killed. Greg snickers and nudges Hubris. Hey, Hubris, who needs better eyesight now? I assumed it was
man.
Abigail. Abigail's the one with the long hair. Hubris ignores Greg's pestering. Denny, did Rio send you? What? No, I was heading to Flora before the attack. I figured I'd take a detour and see if you two were alright. Greg and Hubris look at each other. The attack? Already? I don't suppose you can... Sorry, I forgot to read in its soldier voice. I don't suppose you can give us a ride back? Then he puts his helmet back on. Hey, you guys got yourself into this. You can make the trip back. With that, Thunderdome flies off, and the scene cuts to Felden. Dab!
Oh man.
This guy's like, deal with
This
it.
guy, I love him. Yeah,
And with that, Thunderdome flies off, and the scene cuts to Felden. A convoy of humans are being escorted into the city. They pass through a zone of the clear-cut forest, which has been replaced by pools of lava and netherrack. The camera pans back to reveal Lucan and Nika watching. Please, just daily reminder. Please pray that Kiyoshi is not dead. Remind.
Oh my
Okay,
word.
quietly. This is the
Oh,
third
God.
convoy this week. Actually, no,
Oh,
wait.
dear.
Sorry. Isn't it? Oh no! I just realized that Lisa isn't here, and she can't do the Nika voice. No,
no.
we're doomed. We
Goodness.
have to stop. We have to stop doing
I am
it
doing
right
it.
now. I
Yeah,
I think
it's gonna
Infin
get
should do it.
Okay. Third convoy this week.
And it's about to be the last. Lucan
Oh, it
confidently
says
starts.
quietly. Sorry.
Oh god.
I can't be quiet. I'm laughing too loud. Lucan confidently
Oh
starts
my god.
climbing out of cover towards the convoy until Nika grabs his shoulder and pulls him back down.
Quietly.
Lucan looks a bit sheepish. He watches the convoy passes through the gates, and wither skeletons begin scouting around. Infin, your line.
Nika.
It's not the
I've
same
seen
without
enough for
Lisa.
today.
She retreats into the woods, and Lucan
Mhm.
follows. They arrive in a clearing and climb beneath the roots of the tree to reveal a small base they set up.
Must be herding people from the smaller towns into the capital cities. Heard similar things happening in the other kingdoms.
You know, I've been thinking. What? I'm a bit
Oh, no.
concerned.
Uh-oh.
Lucan looks up at Nika, merely smiles. I've been logically reasoning. The tunnels created by the necromancers don't
Oh
show
my
up on any
God.
charts. I bet the Nether don't even know they exist. That could be our ticket in. Wait, are they gonna... Oh my god, if they ally with the necromancers...
Ah,
Okay,
That'd be a big brain moment.
I don't know.
If they, like-
gosh.
I love it when, like, a hero and a villain are, like, fighting and then the second villain just comes in, and then the hero and the villain are like, screw it, team up against the second villain.
Yeah, that's
Please tell me this is
Right?
gonna happen.
I love when that
please.
happens.
Yeah.
I know the Necrolord's dead, but I mean, Zarya might still be alive.
Yes, and-
He's probably the leader now if
Oh,
he
in the
is.
chat.
He's probably still alive.
Wait, Infin, your line again. I'm too busy theorizing and laughing in order to actually read.
Well,
Big
getting
brain.
in won't be a problem, at least not for me. Getting others out, the
Sure.
Nether will notice if we evacuate the entire city through a tunnel, secret or not.
Yeah, they will notice. Just then they hear a roar. They hear outside to see Thunderdome flying high. Yes! Are they finally gonna meet everyone else? I've been waiting for this for like 2
Thunderdome.
seasons now. Okay, above the treetops, a bright object falls from Thunderdome and Nika catches it, revealing a Nether star. Lucan walks over and holds it as well.
Hey.
Did Denny drop it? Why?
I think he dropped it for
This
them.
is our
Yeah.
way out.
Pretty sure you did
Cuts
it
to
on purpose.
Ataraxia, Hubris, Greek, and Frederick arrive. Thunderdome flies overhead and lands
Greek.
off to the side.
Greg.
Ataraxia has... So, did I say Greek
Greek.
again? I didn't even notice that time.
Greek again.
Brain.
No!
Big brain.
Oh my
Ataraxia
God.
has changed drastically
Oh,
since
man.
before. It has become militarized and has served as the Knights of Ardonia's operational base ever since the fall of the capitals. Was it really that quick that all the capitals fell? Like, I imagine they'd have some form of defense.
Except Tartarus.
Carfin's the
Tartarus.
smart boy. They didn't have a beacon.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that was unintentional at first.
I don't need.
Yeah. Turns out they're smart.
They walk into the building with the most activity. They are pleased to see the majority of their friends and fellow knights greet them. Gallius, Sen, Abigail, Rhea, and many others. Luna's head is peering down through the hole in the ceiling.
Bruh.
Wait, Nimuri, your line. Cause Rhea. Nimuri is great
Oh.
at Rhea's voice.
Yes.
Where have you two been? We were just about to leave for the strike without you.
Captain, listen, I know you don't agree, but none of our work will matter without the Prime songs. Rhea waits for a moment, still angry, but decides not to scold them further.
Well, do you have them?
No, but we have the person who might be able to find them. They stand aside and reveal Frederick. Pauses he was tinkering with a redstone repeater. He looks up and notices everyone looking at him. Sine.
Hi, I'm Frederick.
Just the most nonchalant.
Oh my
I
God.
This guy doesn't care. He does not care.
He's the best.
So, I hear you can locate the prime songs, Frederick?
Well, not exactly, but I'm working on a device that can. However, it's not quite finished. In addition, it requires at least one prime song to calibrate.
What?
Finish your device, Frederick. We can find one of the 2 remaining primes. Perhaps you can help us locate the final. Welcome to the Knights of Ardonia.
Thank you, ma'am.
Frederick
Oh
bows
my
slightly
God.
and then backs up to the edge of the circle.
He's a
They continue
polite
talking
boy.
as if they haven't been interrupted. What about the other Idoni clans? That was more of an igneous voice than a
Val.
Sen voice.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
A handful of
Oh,
Ardoni
Val's here?
joined us. Yeah, Val.
hey.
A handful of
Was she
Ardoni
mentioned?
joined us, but for the most part, the clans are determined to stay out of this war.
Why?
Wow.
No. Why? They literally did. Master Aurelius not say?
Cowards! How dare you?
I bet Master Aurelius didn't want to. It was probably like
He didn't
Siberian.
No, it
think-
was Siberian.
they
It was
didn't
Siberian.
Siberian. Siberian is the pessimistic one.
He
Siberian
didn't
has a great
Okay.
voice though.
Okay. In
Dear.
their defense,
Yes,
in
he
their
does.
defense, he did
Damn
not
it.
know that the Death Singer was going to be coming to the future. They
True
did not.
that. True
This was
that.
going to turn into a
Ingress is
full-fledged
there?
war. They
Yeah,
thought it was just
sorry,
going to be
can't
one
help
last
you.
skirmish with the Voltaris.
Did they think that if they weren't gonna fight, the
Just
Death
like-
Singer would just leave them alone?
Big brain, no.
Maybe?
No.
No.
Like,
Okay,
well,
Infant, wait, you're lying. It's Abigail.
you think we'll have enough forces to take Meridian?
Rhea turns toward the Tide
my
Singer.
God, I heard
Oh no, this is
Meridian.
also your line too.
It is difficult to say, but this is the best opportunity we'll ever have. Sidonia and Carthan control the 2 largest armies of Ardonia. If we unite them and control the beacon conduits, we could liberate a few capitals before the Nether has time to retaliate.
During the dialogue,
heard
Grim walks.
Meridian
Oh,
and I
imagine
heard
not
Meridian.
spelling dialogue with an extra
Herobrine!
UE on the end. That's kind of cringe, man.
Hey!
Grim walks over to Herobrine
Grim!
casually and looks. Grim! Wait, Herobrine! It is Herobrine! It is! Herobrine!
my
My boy.
Maybe they said that Herobrine wasn't going to be in it because they were intending to write him out, and they just had him in to begin with.
My boy, no,
I-
no, keep him.
I
He's my
wanted I definitely would not want him to be written out. I love it when Herobrine's a good guy
Mame.
Yes.
I don't know that
Alive.
yet.
I
Right
love
now.
and looks at
I
him
love
cautious,
this. Read
curiously. He slowly reaches out to poke him, but Herobrine turns toward him menacingly, and Grim puts his hands behind his head as he was just scratching himself innocently. Grim and Herobrine, best duo in the series.
I love him. Yes.
At
Big
that
brain.
And at that point, the Nether
So
will have
why not
lost
do
their
it on-
hold. It'll be easier to strike at other, less fortified points.
Everything depends on the liberation of Meridian. Tomorrow is going to be a long battle, and it will not end there. You are all dismissed. Sleep well tonight.
I
Camera
keep
moves into
hearing
the map.
Meridian.
Camera
It's
moves in
okay.
on the map,
Stop.
focusing on Meridian. Cuts to
No
outside.
trauma.
Everyone is splitting off in their separate ways.
Good night, Sen.
Rhea waves to Sen, who answers back.
That's the most awkward good night ever.
Sleep well, Rhea. So we're going to
Yeah.
reclaim this capital. Also, good night, Sen. Sen stands and watches Rhea go. Suddenly, Greg nudges his shoulder and stands beside him. So you and the captain, huh?
Oh my god.
No! Greg! Stop!
Why?
Correct.
We're just
I
friends.
love
Well,
you
you're
so much.
technically adoptive siblings, which makes it really weird if
Oh God, we don't
Really?
know.
friends don't look at each other that way. Do they not?
That
Keep
Do
my
they
name.
really not?
are not siblings.
Sen
That's the
fidgets
point.
shyly. Greg punches him on the shoulder again. Ow. Come on, kid. At least you have someone. I have yet to even meet another Jaggerfin, much less a female, and even she might not be interested in me. I relate with Greg so much.
Where did you?
Don't
Where
doubt
did
yourself.
this came
Greg
Don't
is-
doubt yourself, Greg.
Greg has suddenly
Don't
become the
judge
most relatable character in the series for me.
Aw.
Oh wow.
Aw.
We don't talk.
Sen turns toward Greg slowly in surprise, never having really thought much about Greg's emotional side before. Greg,
Aw.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
What? Oh, it's fine, Sen. After this war's over, maybe we'll go on another adventure and find the rest of my kid. Greg walks off. Wouldn't that be something? Sam watches Grek leave and looks back towards the room they just came from. Herobrine remains motionless, a silent guardian over the city. He turns towards Sen, then smiles and nods slightly. I want to see Herobrine just beat up everyone. Like Pyphis, Death Singer, everybody. Back in the blacksmith, Gallius and a Tidesinger remain. The Tidesinger continues looking over the map, concerned. Gazing over that map all night will not bring you any closer to victory. Tidesinger looks up at Gallius, lugging a weapon over to the forge. You should get some sleep, Tidesinger.
This line.
Yes, this line.
This was from the trailer, the fan-made one.
Yeah. I seldom sleep these days. I can rest when my work is done.
Gallius places the weapon in the forge and lets out a sizzle. You do not have to carry all this responsibility on your own. Rhea has been leading and inspiring the troops, Abigail has your side of the Ender Knights, and I am always available to lend a hand.
And I'm very grateful for your support. There are many brave hearts willing to stand up against evil, far more than in my day.
You mean like the entire United Army was not more than this? Gallius takes the sword over to an anvil and waits a moment before returning his gaze to the still distracted Tidesinger.
Maybe it wasn't like in numbers. It was more of like their willingness and like their attitude.
Could be, yeah. Maybe. Then what troubles you? The Tidesinger continues looking over the map.
A great many things. I'm afraid. I can feel the incessant strain of my songs clawing at my strength.
Oh my god, more trailer lines!
Every day. You are aware of this, I'm sure. Valius experienced much worse effects.
Oh, that reminds me of the classic line.
The heck?
A lifetime of wielding songs has had certain adverse effects on my health. Gallius fidgets around with the weapon on the anvil. One reason of many why I stopped teaching songs.
There is also the mystery of Ingressus and how he was able to elude me. We have seen very few Foldaris in our battles, and Ingressus himself has not been present since the Second Great War began.
Has he not? Really?
Other than that, like, one encounter at Crown Peak, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, but that was just between him and Pyphis. No, but none of the protagonists or heroes encountered him.
Yeah.
Supposedly he is still fixated on finding the remaining 2 Prime songs. Fortunately, that should occupy him, assuming my brother hid them well. Gallius activates his smithing song and hammers on the weapon once or twice to correct an imperfection. When your only song is a smithing song.
From smithing.
No! Okay, no. I was about to say, what if there was a fishing song that Killian had that could make him fish and have luck when catching fish?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
This is great. This is great.
So long have I spent hunting Ingressus, yet every time we face, I am unsure of my intentions.
Gallius stops his work on the sword and looks over. I hope you intend to kill him. I know of no other who can. Tidesinger seems a bit uncomfortable and leaves. See, he's the only one who could defeat Deathsinger, and he doesn't want to. That's a big problem.
Big brain. Okay. At our next confrontation, I will imagine we will find out.
Fades to one of the sleeping areas in Ataraxia. Masani is trying to sleep. Suddenly, she's rudely awoken by the sound of thumping above her head. Onyx is on the other side, punching the wall repeatedly, trying to warm up for the battle tomorrow. Man, personal space.
Do you
mind? This was in the audition lines. Remember, you auditioned with this, actually.
Yeah.
Onyx stops beating the wall. Masani, I didn't know you could raise your voice that loud. That's a roast. That's a roast. Onyx stops beating the wall and goes to the floor and does push-ups. Just warming up for tomorrow. I'm going to be around a lot of other Magnarites finally, and I don't want to look weak. Masani rolls to the side and tries to get comfortable again. Like, this guy was actually I don't know if this line was... I might not mention this because this line might not have been said. I forget if it was said in Season 2 or not. Masani rolls to the side and tries to get comfortable again. They're in other rooms, but are within easy earshot. So why do you care about Flora so much?
That's none of your business.
Your voice cut out a couple times, I think.
I said the line.
Okay. Onyx stops doing push-ups, goes over to the wall, and leans against it with his back to it. Do you want to know what I'm so this is the line I was just talking about, actually. Do you want to know why I'm really warming up? It's because I'm not the tough Magnarite I pretend to be. I was actually the weakest of my pack, the Omega, as we call them. I left them because they held me back, and I figured I could strengthen myself better on my own. That's where Rhea found me, just punching away the house. No wonder humans hate us Magnerites. Chuckle. Onyx waits for a moment as he thinks about this.
I don't care for Flora. Only a person living there. Clara. I haven't seen her in so long. I don't even know if she's still alive.
So, funny thing, actually, Wildcat15 had an OC in her fanfictions called Lyra, except it was with a Y and not an I. And I just thought, yo, the chances! And that was months ago, before the script got released.
Chances.
Why haven't you gone back?
What a coincidence.
Because I was banished from Felden. This will be my first chance.
Banished for what?
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about
Lucan
that.
is a criminal, and he didn't get banished from Felden.
A couple things in her life.
And then you got Masani. She's just like, I got banished from Felden.
Onyx waits a moment longer, then gets up and moves to the far wall as he realizes she's not going to say more. Well, I hope you find her again. He starts punching the far wall to warm up again, when suddenly Greg's voice calls out, Onyx, don't make me come over there. Music rises and it cuts to the morning. Greg is like the law enforcer here.
Greg is the best.
Greg is the
Greg
law.
is amazing. Yes, he is best boy.
Great.
Wait, no, Herobrine is best boy.
Grim is still the OG best boy. I want Grim and Herobrine to do more stuff. Music rises and it cuts in the morning. Grim and Herobrine best duo. You can't argue with that.
The two who do not speak, yes.
The two who... Wait, Herobrine does not speak at all?
No, I don't think so.
Imagine if they had a Herobrine voice actor.
Can't.
I would love that.
Music rises and it cuts in the morning. Everyone is gathering weapons and putting out temporary fires. They gather to the edge of Ataraxia and prepare to march out. They line up and pose before the Tidesinger gives the signal to march on, and the army moves out. Camera pans back, revealing a large force heading towards Meridian, to be continued. Finally, we're on episode 2, and we're like, 1 hour...
We're only on episode 2?
No, wait. We're not, we're maybe 40 to 50 minutes into the stream. Sorry, stream. This is not a stream. This is video. Okay.
Second episode, and then...
It is dawn. Sun has yet to rise. The Meridian docks can barely be seen in the morning light. A few Wither skeletons patrol, making sure no civilians attempt to escape via ship. The Comm silence is suddenly broken as an Ender Dragon swoops into view and Grieves fire downwards in a single sweep over Pier. The entire docks are lit ablaze. The Wither over the city flies to engage, and suddenly Lunar arrives from behind and attacks. Scene cuts to Norfolk Meridian, Knights of Verdonia are waiting behind cover. Wait, your line, Nem. Go.
Okay. The Wither took the bait. Knights of Ardonia, begin your attack.
This is gonna be fun to read. It's gonna be the... Is this the Battle of Ardonia Meridian. With that, everyone charges up towards the barrier of the Netherrack and lava the Nether army has set up. The Tidesinger and Hubris both fire offensive songs to break their ranks, and then everyone else charges in and the battle begins. Valius and Zulius and Galadar and Hadion would have been so helpful in this. They would have.
F in the chat for those boys.
Yeah. Big F. Big F. Death noise.
Yeah, exactly. Big F.
Read. My boy.
Lightning strikes ahead, and Herobrine appears, much to no surprise. It charges forward and is first to hit the barrier and begins taking on many of the Wither skeletons on its own. People are always wondering what side was Herobrine fighting on. What side was Herobrine fighting on in the Great War? I was thinking he was fighting on his own side, personally. I thought he was just with his own interests.
Yeah.
You just fight for fun.
Yeah, that sounds like Herobrine.
Y'all want a party? Okay, I'm gonna join the party.
Now, the real OP character of the series is Mr. Finch, who's going to show up right this second. He's going to be, up to Deathsinger, and Pythus is going to be like, you boys didn't harvest the sugarcane. Time to meet your retribution.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my word.
And much to no surprise, he charges forward and is the first to hit the barrier and begins taking on many of the Wither skeletons on his own. Herobrine, my boy! I love Herobrine as a good guy. I can't stress this enough.
Yes! I can't. It's so
Back
beautiful.
to the Ender Dragons. They are fighting the Wither. This one is far more experienced and dangerous than the previous Wither, and is able to successfully defend itself against both dragons, hitting them with projectiles constantly. Back to the front lines, the last of the Wither skeletons are dying just as the Knights charge across and the Meridian Bridge and into the slums just outside the castle. Start a revolution! FOH Chapter 12 moment.
Big brain.
Oh, Trevor and Saxon! They're in this! Somehow!
Hey!
My boys! I actually auditioned for Trevor. For the audiobook.
Okay.
So Back to front lines. The arrows begin raining down, causing them to take cover behind tents and small buildings. We'll never breach the gate against those archers. Them.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, that's my line. Trevor, Saxon, you're up. Clear the walls.
Here, Trev, drink this.
Oh no! Is it going to be a speed
Gosh.
potion again?
Hey!
Saxon hands Trevor a potion and drinks it himself. I like to read this one in my own voice because when I auditioned for Trevor, I actually used my natural voice to audition for him. So I'm just going to read it in my natural voice. What is it?
Strength boost. Come on, we're wasting time.
Trevor drinks it quickly, and they both pull out ender pearls.
Ready?
Trevor tosses the ender pearl.
I was asking. I didn't mean throw it now.
That was a casting call line.
Yes, it was.
That's the best.
Chris Musto did a really good job on him. I hope he gets cast. He already has 2 roles, actually.
Yes.
Trevor appears on the
Yeah,
wall of the
God.
city and stumbles to the floor from the teleportation. He quickly collects himself and begins fighting off skeletons on the wall. My boy!
Hey.
Saxon froze his... I will be so happy if I get cast as this guy. Saxon froze his ender pearl next. Trevor turns and watches as the ender pearl flies over him and whiffs the wall completely. It lands somewhere in the city, but before Trevor can look forward, he resumes fighting. Cut to Saxon, who climbs up onto out of a pile of hay. Beside him, a pig stares and oinks once. Reuben? Above the city.
We don't.
Every time a pig appears in a Minecraft thing, it reminds me of Reuben, and that just makes me...
Oh no.
We don't
Oh,
talk about that.
Yeah, let's not
Reuben's
talk
my
about that.
boy!
Let's not
He's the
talk
best
about
in
that.
Minecraft story mode.
Best thing ever. Poor Jesse.
We don't talk about that.
Is.
Okay.
No, Reuben.
His death broke me, and that was like years and years ago.
I was laughing.
Yeah,
Why?
At the same time, I was laughing and crying at the same time.
I was just
like
laughing.
bawling my eyes
I had
out.
no remorse.
I don't...
I got so upset.
That's exactly what I would
really don't
expect
like
from you.
Petra. Ivor's my favorite.
Ivor's the best. He's the best boy, especially in the
Ivor's the
episodes
best.
5 to 8, and
Yes,
also in season 2.
Ivor. Yes.
Ivor is probably my favorite character, honestly,
Ninja Ivor.
in Minecraft songs.
Oh my god, my boy.
Ninja
Why
Ivor,
are
yes,
we
I remember
talking
that.
about this?
Okay,
Okay,
Wait.
Off topic. Get back
Saxon
on
kind
topic.
of reminds me of Ivor now.
Oh my god.
Kind of.
Exactly.
I know.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Back to... Okay, I have to read a few more gray text. Above the city, both Luna and Thunderdome flap the wither from opposite sides. Opposite sides? Opposite sides. They each strike the wither, and it falls from the sky with a loud explosion. Even the more experienced wither couldn't get them. I'm back to Trevor. He finishes killing the last skeleton on the wall, then hops down into the courtyard and kills a few guards. Human guards or Netherin guards? Please tell me it's Netherin guards. Back to Saxon.
Oh my
He's leaning on the outside of the pig pen as he empties his boot of mud. A Netherin with a large axe
Bruh.
approaches Trevor. Is that Pythis? No, it can't be. Approaches Trevor and they fight for a moment, but Trevor is thrown down. Saxon suddenly kills Netherin from behind. Okay, so it's not Pythis.
I
What are you
mean,
laying around for? Come on.
Saxon helps Trevor up and they get to the gate and flip the switch. As the gate gears begin moving, a large team of Nether forces move to attack Trevor. Trevor quickly slips under the opening gate and outside. Nether army waits. Gate slowly rolls upward, revealing the entire Knights of Ardonia posed and ready to fight. The two Grey Dragons limp just behind the crowd, and Abigail raises her sword. Cuts to a bit of later in the fight, some Wither Skeleton's bones crash into view from around the corner, and Tidesinger walks into the walkway. He just, walks up, Theresa May style.
Our priority.
Trotting down the side.
Oh god. Oh god.
Wide Bootin'
Okay,
moment.
Oh no. Wait a minute. Wait,
Our
just a...
Okay,
What?
read the line.
Our
They don't touch
priority is
them.
to protect the civilians of Meridian. Sen, help see to it that the people are safe. Rhea, find the army and free the Sidonian soldiers. Everyone
Sure.
else, let us rid the city of these demons.
I swear that he said... I swear that when he said this line in the trailer, he said Galadar's name.
yeah,
no,
they
'cause
switched
changed
around the name.
Yeah, they changed around the names to avoid
Name.
spoilers.
Oh.
Put that
They
down.
charge
brain.
back into the fight.
Because
Cuts
Thalius
to
is dead.
Crown
people.
Peak. Pythis is pacing around, largely agitated. Curse them all! I will enslave every last one of them! How is it that our greatest forces are unable to quell this pathetic rebellion? It's actually more of an outside attack than a rebellion, if you think about it. Pythis turns towards Scorch.
don't tell
Oh, it's
me.
Scorch! And where is Ingressus? Did I not summon him some time ago? The Death Singer did not feel inclined to walk.
Hey!
Do I have to read in that voice the entire rest of the time?
Yes, that is beautiful.
Yes, it was so good.
Okay, I gotta do it again. The Death Singer did not feel inclined to walk all the way down here. He says you can come to him if needed. That's such a Death Singer move.
Hey!
Private's
Oh,
face tightens as he
savage.
annoyed by
He
as the
took-
Death
he
Singer's
took-
defiance.
He took the whole
Right.
Solomon's
we're not
voice is
friends
heard
thing. Why-
as the scene cuts to the balcony overlooking the city. Solomon, please betray him. Solomon. Wait, who reads Solomon's lines again?
Oh wait, I do. Sorry. Sometimes when I sit here, I ask myself, what did it take to be so successful?
What's going on here?
I have only one answer, and that's to do whatever it takes. Make any sacrifice. When people are calling you crazy, you've just got to show them otherwise.
You suck, Solomon.
Interest.
I love him. I'm sorry.
I hate him. I despise
Yo, man.
him with a
Yo,
passion,
Sol-
but not more than Alistair.
Yo, Solomon, that's cool and all, but like, name one person who asked.
True that.
Camera slides back as he's talking, reveals him slouched lazily on the sun chair overlooking the city. Well, I bet people are like getting oppressed and dying, and he's just like lounging. And Death Singer, as
True.
usual, stands instead of sits.
Episode.
Aw.
I'm glad you chose to give up the Prime song.
I
and it
kind
is
of want
certainly
Solomon
granted
to have a
success.
redemption arc and like betray him though,
Yeah. Ooh. I'm
because
glad
I
you
want him to
chose
feel
give
bad
up the
about
Prime
betraying
song.
Fallius.
Can I read the line, please?
Yes, you can read the line.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm glad you chose to give up the Prime song, and it has certainly garnered you success. However, I would not take pride in your deeds, Solomon.
A.
Solomon leans up.
Boy.
He's getting.
I'm
He's
really
getting.
nervous right now.
Solomon
I
leans
love
up
the
slightly
Death
and
Singer.
ports towards Ingressus.
Ingressus is so beautiful, yes. My boy.
Ah, that is exactly what I am talking about. Pride, honor, respect. They're just words, but this house, my wealth, and the fact that I'm the last human living freely in the kingdoms, that
Ow.
is something I treasure.
Again, no one
Ow.
asked. No one asked.
Ow.
No one asked.
Ow.
Death
Wow.
Singer is slightly
Wow,
disgusted
my
at Solomon's
respect
heartlessness.
For him has gone down the
Even
drain.
the Death Singer hates him. He walks over near.
Exactly! He's a scumbag!
He walks over near to Solomon, causing Solomon to shirk away slightly and avoid his eye contact.
Your
I would
success
not
has
hate Solomon
saved
that
you
much
thus
if you
far.
felt bad about what he did, because like I know he had to do it or else he would have died, but like
I'm sorry.
he doesn't seem to
Yeah.
care at all that he
sorry,
betrayed Fallius and
Can I just read this?
Oh, this is a
Yeah.
great line.
Yeah, I know, right? Your success has saved you thus far, but be careful who you betray, Solomon. Not everyone is as heartless as yourself.
he's speaking facts.
Ooh.
He's speaking facts. Death Singer is speaking
Good,
facts
good
right now.
line.
Death Singer walks off and Solomon
Exactly!
the Death Singer
Do you know who I am?
Death
Oh my
Singer
God, no!
relaxes slightly. As Death Singer walks around to the street, he's met by Pipus, Scorch, and a few of his guards. Pipus is very angry. Ingressus, the Knights of Ardonia are attacking Meridian.
I know. I heard you're shouting from up here.
Bruh.
That's a roast. Pipus gets a bit closer and points at the Death Singer. Don't you mock me, Ingressus. This concerns you as well.
What concerns me is that your forces, including a Wither, are unable to defend against a single band of rebels. The
Frickin'
resistance
Tide
is
Singer and
growing in
Herobrine.
strength.
Do you not realize how powerful they are?
My boy Herobrine.
Knights of Ardonia and the Prime Psalms were meant to be your responsibility. I knew speaking with you was going to be a waste of time. I'll deal with Meridian myself. Pipus storms off. The Angel of Death lands behind him beside him as he walked. I'm sure that Pipus and the Death Singer are going to have like a falling out.
Obviously.
sure.
Oh yes,
You can
absolutely.
see it happening right here.
Fly
Ah.
to Meridian and open the conduit long enough for a strike force to move through. Scorch, travel to Felden and reinforce our defenses. Of course, my king.
Oh my word.
The Angel of Death
No,
flies
don't
off
tell
and
me.
Pipus,
Don't tell
Scorch, and the guards all disappear out of view from the Tide Singer. Tigrin walks up beside the Death Singer. Tigrin, my boy, I hope...
Tigrin!
Finally, he doesn't get...
Oh, yes.
Finally,
Say
Tigrin's
yes,
not getting
yes.
sidelined.
I remember this line.
Okay,
Renee.
with your permission, I wish to join the fight at Meridian.
Death Singer raises his eyebrow.
For another opportunity to strike at the Knights of Ardonia, of course. We can't allow the Nether to have all the fun. I'd like to kill a few of the leading knights myself.
Yes, Tigrin's getting some
Yeah.
time in the spotlight.
Please don't tell me.
He was
Hope he
the...
doesn't, please.
Please!
Wait, is he
Don't
gonna
kill
die?
anybody.
Wait, who's he gonna
We
kill?
don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Just keep reading.
Oh god, I'm
Wow.
scared. Returns to Meridian as he says this. Fighting continues. Long camera shots showing all different characters doing fights. At the end, there are a lot of Wither skeletons charging down one of the streetways. Herobrine rushes down through them, killing the majority of them. Sen is trying to protect the civilians. Herobrine is a gamer.
Yeah.
He's my boy.
Gamer moment.
What are you doing out here? Get back inside. Sen ushers some people back into their homes. Cuts to the armory, the door bursts open, and Rhea enters and kills the Wither skeletons. Behind her are some unarmed Sidonian soldiers.
Oh.
Yo, it is the Flame of Hope chapter 12, basically. Like, the same thing happened when they were reconquering Riverstead.
Big brain.
Cuts to Tigrin, who is greeted by a Sidonian official, accompanied by now armed Sidonian soldiers. Does Hassan show up? Because he's like a Sidonian soldier guy who like appeared briefly in season 2. Oh, it is Hassan. That's him right now. I appreciate the rescue, but this won't be enough to hold the city once the Nether retaliates.
Guys.
Oh no, Sinead, why are you so worried? I should be worried too, shouldn't I?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing. Just keep reading.
I don't trust you.
It's fine.
Of course it's
Infant,
nothing.
do you trust her? Do you trust her?
Fine.
I don't trust her.
She's
No.
fine.
Exactly.
She's fine. She'll be fine.
Sinead, do you trust her?
Who, me?
No, Sinead, do you trust Murray when she says it will be fine?
No.
No one trusts her.
Okay, now.
Okay.
That's kind of true, though.
My
Outside in the
stomach
streets,
started to get sick.
Hubris, Grek, and Grim are fighting. Grim walks into a small enclosure and finds an iron golem chained up. The iron golem attempts to strike at Grim, thinking he's an enemy. Grim instead calms him and cuts the chain. The iron golem approaches Grim, towering over him. He grants Grim a small road, just causes him to smile. Back out in the street, the iron golem smashes through the wall and steps out into the opening.
Comic panel of that.
Across the center of the city, a few knights have taken a beacon platform. Suddenly, the angel of death drops from the sky and kills all of them quickly. Okay. All of them? Then places a nether star into Pekin. It turns on, sending a beam of light into the morning sky. Nether reinforcements arrive, including a few blazes. Tigrin steps out, and the angel of death takes the nether star back out, and flies up and away. Blazes are setting fire to the city. Masani starts firing arrows at them to kill them. Abigail and Denny fly after the blazes, but they dodge at the last moment and continue pelting the city. Onyx is beating up some Wither skeletons. Man. Tigrin's Aggressium song flies down the road suddenly and nearly hits Onyx as he jumps out of the way. He gets up with Tigrin is approaching.
The Knights of Verdonia must be desperate if they're calling upon Magnerites. I always thought your kind was dangerous and strong. You don't quite look like either.
Laughs in Flame of Hope. He got beaten up by a Magnerite.
Tigrin has bars.
Rah! Onyx's counter attack is Onyx's counter insult is just great. It's just him screaming.
Says Tigrin is surprisingly pushed back and thrown down. Wow.
Well, he's a Magnerite. He's like really strong. Before Onyx can land another blow, Tigrin warps behind Onyx, spins around, and fires his song. No, Onyx! He fractured to pieces. He just died.
Yep.
What?
Onyx, my boy.
Tigrin!
Oh man,
Yes, today.
it's been a while since Tigrin has.
He's my boy.
It's been a while since Tigrin has killed a character.
Misery intensifies.
Stop, Tigrin.
No.
You get your
Man.
I liked Onyx though.
I
Like,
knew him.
come
but
on.
I liked him.
Misery
like
intensifies.
it hits Onyx straight on his.
No,
Okay, I'm not gonna read that again. It will give me too. It'll give me too much pain. Herobrine's still there. Good. Good thing. Paces as his song continues onward and erupts on the wall behind where he previously stood. Tigrin turns and smiles. Cuts the wall. At least Morgan's still alive. We still got one Magnerite to root for.
Oh,
Cuts the walls out of the city. Herobrine is killing. Did I say? I almost said hubris or Herobrine. Sorry. Herobrine is killing a few Wither skeletons when the Angel of Death. Okay, we know that hubris can't beat Wither skeletons, so that wouldn't make any sense.
No.
When the Angel of Death swoops by over top and cuts at him, knocking him down. He repeats this a few times, causing Herobrine to fall back. I don't think the Angel of Death can beat Herobrine.
No.
Cuts back to Senny ushering 2 civilians for the city. This way, hurry, you'll be safer in here. And as he rounds a corner, he stops suddenly. A whirl of energy flies towards him, and he throws up his shield, saving himself and the 2 civilians.
Oh no.
Tigrin!
Oh no.
As the energy dissipates, he sees Tigrin standing at the end of the empty street. Together they face each other. Sen. Do not die on me, please. Go back the way we came. Find another place to hide. The civilians hurry away.
Oh, my
Tigrin
head
addresses
hurts.
Sen.
Sine, you'll be fine.
My head hurts.
No, Sine, you'll be fine.
Sine,
Oh,
Sine,
no.
My
Sine.
head is hurting, actually.
No, Sine, she'll be fine.
Okay,
Wait, is
if
it
your
my
head is
line?
really hurting, then you don't have to.
No, it's not. Is it my line?
Yes, it's your line. Tigrin's line.
Okay. I'm so glad that our paths keep crossing. You watched and ran as I killed Thalius, put up a pitiful fight at the vault, and have returned to shame yourself once again. It's no wonder you are clanless. No clan would welcome a weak one like yourself. I'll be doing them a favor, really.
Tigrin's got the
Tigrin
roast.
Be spitting bars.
Tigrin
And
will be
please,
fine.
Can we please have
Wait,
like
Tigrin.
Can we please have like a rap battle where Tigrin faces off against every
Yes!
character
Oh
at
my
once
God!
and see if anyone can
Yes.
beat him?
Ah,
Actually,
Tigrin disses
Tigrin
everybody.
versus
Actually,
Tigrin versus if
We should
Tigrin
have
faced off
Tigrin
against Grek
dis-
in a rap battle, then the world would explode.
please don't kill Sen, please.
Sen can't die though. He's like the main protagonist, almost, kind
Not
of.
really.
Sen appears somewhat hurt by Tigrin's
don't
insults, but
talk
tries
about
not to show it. You're going to pay for the atrocities you've committed, Tigrin. I've lost my Sen voice, actually. You're going to pay for the atrocities you've committed, Tigrin.
One does not pay for such things. One is rewarded. Like this,
Oh.
for instance.
That was not an award. You stole it.
No.
Now you're
Tigrin,
just
that's
rubbing
a
the
little
salt
bit-
into the
that's a
wound.
little cold.
I know.
You're
I
rubbing the
know.
salt into the
Tigrin,
wound
that's
that
a
I got
little-
months ago.
Uh-huh.
Tigrin holds
Sit down.
Thalius' sword out
Sit down,
and twirls
bro.
it around lightly.
A beautiful sword for the best of the Voltaris to wield.
Oh, goodness.
Hey.
Oh, Sen's
Take your
spitting
benefit
back at
back,
him.
you're Tigrin.
Sen's spitting back at him.
Tigrin,
Sen
stop
continues to
crossing
stand
the
his
line.
ground and instead
man.
insults Tigrin
This
back
must
for a
really-
change. You and the rest
This
of the
might-
Voltaris,
this-
you're all just pawns in the Nether. In the end, you're nothing without them. Sen's be counter spitting
Really
right
hurt
here.
Because, like,
Start a rap
Because,
battle.
like,
Someone
think
get the
about it.
music. Someone get the
Where
music.
Rap battles happening
is
right
getting-
here.
is getting
Okay.
attacked by Thalius' own
Hey yo,
sword.
drop a hot
Hey,
beat,
yo, yo, yo.
DJ.
Oh my god.
Ew, it's ya boy. And here we have Welcome back to-
we're
Welcome
not
back
doing
to
that.
guys,
Epic
guys,
Rap Battles
no
of
music right
History.
now.
Sen
Read the
versus
line.
Tigrin.
Read the line.
Who won?
Read
Who's
the
next? I did read the line. I did.
Read the
I did.
lines
I
right
did read the
now.
line. Tigrin activates his song
Yeah,
in
the
anger,
great
and
text,
Sen,
the great text.
with nowhere to evade, runs and jumps over the ball of energy, which passes harmlessly below. He lands in front of Tigrin and strikes at him. Exchange a few strikes, but Tigrin kicks Sen back a bit. Sen, I'm actually really proud of how good he got at fighting. Like, he would not have done anything against Tigrin in Season 1. Sen rolls away as Thalius'
True
sword
that.
strikes the wall where he was previously standing. In the rest of the city, Nether army is dwindling. Retreating out the front gate, Herobrine is able to surprise the Ancient with that by leaping off one of his towers and cutting at him. His flying becomes limped, and he staggers away into the distant sky. Caught his wings off, Steve from Animation Lifestyle.
Yeah.
The Knights of Donia push the Nether toward the bridge. As they cross it, Abigail lines Luna up with the bridge and runs the length with it, lighting it on fire. My voice, I swear.
Well then.
Back to the fight between Sen and Tigrin. They're now up on a
fine.
wall. They continue to fight, but it's clear Tigrin is the better swordsman. Finally, Sen is thrown down, the sword landing a bit
Hey.
behind him.
How ironic it is for you to die by Thalius.
No, is Rhea going to
Ooh.
sacrifice herself for him?
Oh,
Please don't tell me.
We don't talk about that.
As Tigrin,
Nem.
you're Nem. That's too much. That's too much information. I'm just more worried. As Tigrin raises to strike Sen a fatal blow, as he hears a sound behind him and turns to see Rhea zooming down the wall towards him using her Mobilium song. He swings to face her just as she collides with him and they begin fighting. Sen grabs his sword at both Rhea and sword.
Big
Rhea and
brain.
Sen go after Tigrin simultaneously.
Nice.
Tigrin and Rhea occasionally use their songs to move around on the walls. My favorite character is Sword, honestly. Favorite character in the whole series.
Sine. Sine.
Finally, Snake, calm down. Are you like,
Yeah.
calm
Sine's
down?
not okay.
No.
Is
Sine's not okay.
Tigrin about to die?
I think
Okay.
he might.
No.
We don't
Finally,
talk
Rhea
about
hooks her
that.
spear onto Tigrin's sword in such a way that it comes to a stop, and then she twists it, and it flies into the air, and she catches it with her other hand. Upon doing so, she continues twisting and sends herself into a final burst of speed upon Tigrin, and towards Tigrin, kicking him over the edge. Tigrin dies! Oh my god! He does! Tigrin falls into one of the small pits of lava, and with a loud hiss and bubbling of lava, he is killed.
Thank you.
My man, Season 1, Season 2, all of Season 2,
He had
the
it
OG
coming,
villain,
okay?
the OG villain, and this is where he finally dies. Long journey for him.
I'm glad. I'm glad this is over with.
No.
I have a love-hate relationship with Tigrin. Like, I hate that he kills some of my favorite characters, but I love that he has an enjoyable personality. Snake, you need to take a break. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, okay? He didn't die. Don't worry. Tigrin had a potion of lava resistance. It's okay. He had a potion of lava resistance.
It says he is killed.
Okay, well, the script is wrong. Maybe David was going to rewrite his death out of the season. He said he was going to rewrite things. Maybe he's gonna change that.
You're making it worse. Stop.
I'm rubbing salt into the wound.
I'm gonna send her her favorite gift.
Okay, the thing is, I have a huge love-hate relationship with Tigrin. I mean, I hate him for killing some of my favorite characters like Valius, but at the same time, I love his character.
I'm glad Rhea was the one to do it, though.
Yes.
No.
Rhea or Sen were the ones who deserved to do it. Or Gallius, maybe.
Either Sen or Rhea.
No.
Sine! I swear. Dude,
Okay. I was like,
he literally caused massacres. You cannot say he did not deserve this. Whether you liked him or not.
Oh, he did. He rightfully did. This guy had
That misery intensifies.
Oh yeah, Tigrin's backstory in that fanfiction is kind of sad.
I mean, honestly, yeah. With some of the fanfiction's backstories, I would say he's sympathetic.
He's a tragic. Ingressus is more of a tragic villain always.
I don't care whatsoever.
I feel like Canon Tigrin is real. I would consider Ingressus lawful evil, and Ingressus would be lawful evil, and Tigrin would be chaotic evil. I think that Tigrin just wants to kill for the fun of it. Ingressus is actually the tragic villain who kind of feels somewhat justified. Sinead, do you need to take a breath? Do you need to take a deep breath?
Take a deep breath. It's okay.
Just take a deep breath.
He's chilling in the afterlife.
I really don't care. I loved him.
But he killed so many characters that I liked. Like,
I don't care.
I love his character, but like he killed some characters that I liked.
Valius and Onyx.
And Hawken. Are you forgetting Hawken? Are you forgetting Hawken? Do not forget Hawken, my boy. Okay, as soon as I mentioned Hawken, Sinead changed her mind.
I'm having mixed emotions right now because he killed
Sinead is having an emotional crisis right now. She doesn't know what to do.
I'm not gonna lie.
Sinead.
Can I be honest right now? I swear, why did it have to be Sen and Rhea? I would have been okay with one of them dying.
What?
Wow.
Tigrin dying. Or either one of them.
I didn't want him to die.
Well, how was he not gonna die?
As soon as he killed Hawken, he was like as soon as he killed Thalius, he was like pretty much like set to die.
You had to die eventually. Wait, who's gonna take the sword?
Villains don't win at the very end.
Unless they do. Infinity War.
I mean, stories like this for sure.
Sinead, calm yourself.
I will probably live to regret that statement.
In the commentary,
everyone
just literally says that he based Ingressus off of Thanos.
I can't, guys.
What?
Thanos is kind of tragic villain. He kind of knows he believes he's right. I mean, he can be questionable.
Oh yeah, Thanos is very simple.
I think he could have just made more resources. Honestly, if he had the Infinity Gauntlet, he could do anything he wanted. Why didn't he just make more resources?
We don't talk about that.
Because plot?
Let's just keep reading.
Okay.
We're like so behind.
They have been freaking out for a solid 10 minutes. As Tigrin raises to strike Sen. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Rhea runs towards Sen and smiles, happy that the killer of her father, family, and Valius is now dead. Look, you can't. We can't say that he didn't deserve it. No one can argue that.
I get it. deserved
Okay.
it. I get it. He deserved it. Let's read so I can forget about it. Thank
Okay,
you.
Sen smiles back when Rhea suddenly hands Sen Thalius' sword. He holds it
And
for
it
the
hurts
first in amazement, surprised at how large and heavy it is. I was waiting for someone to reclaim the sword, though. He stole it
And
from
now it doesn't
Thalius.
hurt anymore.
Somebody give it to Sen,
What if
please.
Tigrin lost Thalius' sword, but he still kept his iron sword and was still alive? I don't think that would make Sine that upset.
I'd appreciate that more.
Okay.
This timeline sucks. We need an alternate timeline.
Oh
We
my
need an
God,
alternate
Sine.
timeline where Tigrin just
This is-
kills.
this
Sine
is
wants
the
an alternate
Yuki
timeline where
fan- this
Tigrin
is
just
the
kills
Yuki
both of them.
fanfiction all over again.
You killed him in Trial and Error too, and I don't want that to happen.
Oh,
I cried
no.
when that happened.
Aw.
At least he
Yeah,
kind
I
of
told
died
Sine that I was
fighting.
gonna kill him.
He.
Sen got Thalius' sword.
Oh God!
Yes.
I think someone's
No.
voice just like fractured my eardrums or punctured my eardrums
Ooh.
for a second. A painting on my desk just fell down. I'm just gonna ignore that. Cuts back to the battle at hand. Another army is Herobrine's still here, Sine. Please just remember that. Herobrine's still here.
Hey.
Cuts back to the
My
battle at
good
hand.
boy.
Watch Herobrine die. Cuts back to the battle at
No.
hand. Another army
Wow.
continues retreating across the now burnt bridge. Herobrine is hot on their heels. They are fleeing towards the dunes of
Hey.
Sidonia, when they suddenly halt in their tracks. To the north, a row of figures appears on the nearest dune. A Carfin banner can be seen. Many Magnarites are present, and at once the Carfin army charges forward, allying themselves with Sidonia once again. Yo! Now that's epic. Borgin! Is Borgin here? My boy! Cuts to after the battle. Soldiers are piling bodies. I love so many characters. I'm outside the city where there is more space and the air is clearer.
I wish
Many of the
Yankees
knights
was
sit
here to
crouched,
see this.
catching their breath. Tidesinger is speaking to a messenger bird. Is it Merlin? Please tell me it's Merlin. Merlin needs more screen time.
Oh my goodness. Fly to Felden with all haste. Tell them it is time.
The bird flies off, readdresses some people.
We have a few
Okay.
hours before we continue on. Use this time to gather your strength. We're not finished just yet.
As she walks away, camera pans over Sidonia official talking with the Carfin army. I never thought I'd see your kingdoms fighting side by side again during my lifetime, but I'm glad the day has come. And the Carfin people are likewise glad to rejoin the rest of Ardonia. How did you even defeat the Nether in your own kingdom? The Nether never made it to Carfin. Remember that our beacon had been disabled since we left the Union. They had no way to take us to surprise us with an infiltration. They did attempt to take Tartarus, but our tunnels and soldiers held them off.
Nice.
And now the two strongest
Facts.
armies of Ardonia are united. Smart move. Sidonia official. Kind of like the San voice I did. Kind of like that. Sidonia official pats Borgin on the shoulder. Camera pans away to Greek. I did it again. Third time. Third
knew
time.
it.
God,
I knew you were gonna do that. I
Oh
knew
my
it.
word.
I
And
know
Hubris.
that.
They watch as Herobrine goes to the side, holds the sword up, and with a strike of lightning, is gone. And there he goes again.
Oh.
And there he
I'm
goes
sure
again.
he'll return, as he always does. But the Tidesinger
Guess who's
mentions
gone?
something about cross-dimensional
Gone again.
beings and their fragile
Damn,
mortality. Wait, did he?
Oh,
He must have
fascinating.
crossed over
so-
from like
so
animation
Herobrine
life
is
then,
a
right?
cross-dimensional being.
Okay. I'm calling it.
I have to go for like
The
20
BPS
minutes.
team is going to. I'm calling it BPS team's gonna warp in and start and just kill all the villains.
Bruh.
And Derp and Steve and Alex.
We
Wait,
don't
Tanae,
talk about that.
Are we allowed to go
I have
on
to go
without
for,
you
like, 20
since you already read the whole script?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
I'll probably be back.
Alright, thanks. Okay, so now that Sine so now that Sine's not here, immediately start discussing this death of Tigrin without risking a bunch of screaming.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna
Okay.
DM her.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
Honestly,
I'm glad he's gone.
I
I'm
have
glad.
a love-hate relationship with Tigrin. He killed so many characters I like, but at the same time, I kind of like his character. But yeah, I'm glad he died.
But in a very sick and twisted way, and I'm just glad he's out of here.
Yeah. We still have the fan fictions where we can enjoy him anyway, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Lots
love him
of
in
time.
fan fictions. Like, I love how Sine writes Tigrin, especially.
Danae, she rates Tigrin really well.
She does write Tigrin really well. Like, I do not
And Fire.
exaggerate.
And Fire.
And Fire, yes, Fire drop it
Fire's
does.
Great.
Oh man, yeah.
Shout out to her.
Right.
Yes.
Hubris goes to decide
Shout
where
out-
Rhea and the Tidesinger are. It says Rhea and the Tidesinger area, but I think it's a typo.
Fire. It's probably right.
Rain. How many did we lose? Casualties are always high against the Nether. Wither skeletons are stronger than ordinary undead.
We lost Onyx during the fight. Don't rub it in! I didn't need to remember that.
Onyx
They
was
have
the
to count the casualties.
Snape was cheering when Onyx died. Just because Tigrin was the one who did it. Rhea looks troubled.
Onyx was the one to first join the Knights of Verdona.
One of the first.
Dad saved
Oh,
great many
man.
lives today. Many more will fall before we confront the Death Singer, and their sacrifices
How I
will
fear.
never be forgotten.
As he says this, we see Sen on the pier, pretty morning lighting. He was looking over Thalius' sword, which is now his. Morgan walks up behind him.
Yes!
You're Sen, right?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
call
me.
this again.
Morgan pulls out a stack of books and approaches Sen. No! He's gonna tell Sen about Igneous dying!
No.
No! I was fearing the day that Sen would learn this.
I'm sorry.
It's not hilarious. It's gonna make me cry.
This is
I'm
going
sorry,
to make
no.
me cry.
No,
It's hilarious for you, but it's hilarious for you because you are
I'm
you.
heartless. I'm a little sadist.
Sen just gonna
Morgan
know. Please
pulls
tell me
out-
Sen's just gonna know. He don't make him say it. Just
These
Sen
belong
needs
to Igneous.
intelligence.
Sen's eyes widen a bit, realizing what this might mean. He wrote about his travels in some of them. He wrote about you. We thought you should have them. Morgan hands the book to Sen. He tries to compose himself. I was hoping I'd see him again someday. What happened?
Oh.
He ended the oppression of Carfin and our conflict with Sidonia. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his sacrifice. I'm sorry. Sen looks at the books for a moment, then looks happier. I'm really trying to read Morgan emotionally. Like, kind of cold, dead,
Aw.
sad as well.
Just
Igneous
dead
always said his
inside.
life was short and he wanted to make a difference. I'm glad he was able to. Aw, I love this scene. It's, like, really wholesome.
This is like the balcony scene, but like sad.
The balcony scene was amazing. That was, like, one of my favorites from
balcony scene
season
was
one.
amazing.
That's a great scene.
It's such a good scene.
It's probably my favorite non-fight scene, actually.
Non-fight scene.
Magnarites have a tradition. We name all our mountains and cities after heroes and leaders. Tartarus, Kaelos, Markar. One was nearly named Malachi, but I think the new name would be much more appropriate. Igneous the Mountain! Igneous the Mountain! Can we
That's
please
Igneous.
name a mountain after Igneous in real life? Like, rename Mount Everest to Mount Igneous, please. Wait, no. Rename, what's the volcano you can think of? Mount Fuji? Rename it to Mount Igneous.
Oh my god.
Rename every volcano to Mount Igneous. I'll start a petition. I'll start a petition to do this.
Get multi.
I'm trying
Get
to
Multi
cry
on
right
board,
now.
yes.
I need to get this out.
Sen and Borgin both smile, knowing that the mountain will now be named Igneous. Cuts to later in the day. The sun has moved behind some clouds and casts beautiful rays of light over the city. Abigail stands up on one of the small towers in Meridian, looking out over the city. Igneous was a hero. I loved Igneous. Looking out over the city. She turns and jumps down to where Luna and the other Ender Knights are waiting. Trevor attempting to enchant his sword still. Saxon! Oh no, wait, someone else has to read this, don't they? Sine is the only one who can read Saxon.
Aw.
Oh.
Zord begins going. Hey, look at that. Your first enchantment. Yo, Trevor got his first enchantment, my boy. So proud of you.
Trevor. Da, 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 da.
Trevor's eyes widen. That when he goes to pick it up, it sparks him and fizzles out. Ow. Well, maybe not quite yet. Then he's a bit to the side, trying to feed Thunderdome. You must be hungry after all this fighting. Thunderdome turns and looks around. You want something to eat? Thunderdome nods his head repeatedly. Then he reveals a large plate of food salad. Food salad. Food salad!
Vegetarian
It's just food
breakfast.
salad. Thunderdome is a vegetarian too, isn't he? That's just great.
Oh.
I made you a giant fruit salad. That's why he didn't kill the officials that Alistair told him to kill. It wasn't a moral issue at all. He just doesn't like meat.
And he is so sweet.
Denny's my boy. Actually, so many characters are my boy.
Ingress has taught him well.
Thunderdome looks annoyed and turns away.
It's this ongoing joke on the server that Ingress is a vegetarian.
The fanfiction Reddit server. Yeah, Ingressus as a vegetarian is just awesome. I can't even...
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know
You're
why it
welcome
is.
for
It's
that.
just great.
You're welcome.
It's just.
You're welcome.
I have no words.
Big thanks to Marie for doing that.
Yes, I mean that.
Yes.
I made you a giant fruit salad. I already said that, sorry. Hey, you can't always live off farm animals. Okay, he's not a vegetarian. I'm disappointed. You need to eat your fruits and greens, too. Then he pushes the salad in Thunderdome's face, who just leans further away. Here comes the wither! Fine, I'll just leave your food here and hang out with people who appreciate my cooking. That's like my mom whenever my little brother turns down a meal.
Oh.
Actually, no, my mom forces him to eat it.
Oh.
Denny sets the salad down and walks towards the other Ender Knights. In the background, Luna approaches and picks up the salad plate and walks off. Verdona is surprised and follows Luna. So, anyone hungry? If it's more travel food, I'll pass. Yeah, I'm not too hungry. He fans off his hand, where he was shocked a moment ago. Not even for freshly baked cookies? And he proudly holds up a bunch of cookies. Oh, heck yeah! I'm starving!
Thanks, Jenny.
They're not vegetarians either. Can we... Are there any vegetarians here? Are there any vegetarians?
Other than Agressus.
Almost one. I might as well be.
It would be funny if Pythus was also a vegetarian.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Denny. Denny hands out... Wait, no, Infant, your line.
Thanks, Jenny.
Denny hands out cookies to everyone and they gobble them up. During the scene, we see Luna eating the salad. Part of them attempts to get some of his food before but Luna blocks him out. Trevor starts talking while still eating his cookie. Where'd you learn to cook? I'm trying to make a voice that sounds like I'm eating a cookie, but it's not going to work. Where'd you learn to cook so well? This is actually one of my own recipes. I was never the best farmer, so I mostly helped out with the meals. You'll have to try one of the Pinkelson family cakes. I'll tell you what, I want one.
Yeah.
I can't really handle sweet stuff, so I'll pass, but
just make the cake not sweet. Make the cake salty.
No.
Even better, vegetarian cake. Vegetarian cake.
War is finally over. I have to stop by your farm again and have one.
I will definitely show up there and get a cake. I actually had a cake earlier this night because of my brother's graduation. Like, usually I can't eat gluten or dairy because I have sensitivities to that, but I was allowed tonight because it's a special occasion. Denny points to Abigail and smiles as he eats his cookie. Verdona leads down behind them and eats the rest of the plate of cookies. My boy. Off to the side near the water, Sen is twirling Falius' sword around to get a sense of balance. Oh, Sine, this would be rubbing the wound in for Sine. We're rubbing salt into the wound. He spins it and it collides with Rhea's spear, who is now standing beside it. Sen deserves this weapon. Tigrin never deserved it. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Okay. How about you give that weapon a test against a real opponent?
You sure you won't? You sure you weren't too busy?
I need to make sure my shoulders are trained.
My shoulders are trained and ready to fight. Train the shoulders.
I need to make. I need to make sure my. I need to make sure my soldiers are trained and ready to fight.
Gotta train those shoulders. Like, you never know when you could get stabbed in the shoulder.
No, stop.
He poises for attack. They both smile and begin sparring. Yo, that finally fell in arc. I was waiting for this. Cuts to Flora. Below, Nika descends into a cave system and emerges inside Flora. She sneaks around to avoid drawing attention to the cave entrance. She approaches the beacon pad and finds it guarded. She waits a second and strikes down the two wither skeletons and rushes onto the pad. She blocks it. She puts a nether star into the beacon and turns around as wither skeletons block all her exits. Where's Lucan? As she turns and faces them, the beacon powers on, and on a second later, the combined forces of the Knights of Ardonia, Carfin, and Sidonia begin beaming in. To be continued. We can do episode 3. I read episode 2 really fast. Opens in Crown Peak. Pipus is walking quickly to the throne room, speaking out loud to himself. First Meridian.
Oh wait, we're still reading episode 3.
I think we can get through episode 3. Honestly,
it's gonna be like midnight.
I don't care. I need to read my script. I need to read the script. I'll stay up until like 5 in the morning if I want. If I have to.
I can't.
Not. First Meridian, now Flora. I knew we were going to use the beacons. If those miscreants I've never heard that word before. If these miscreants think they can liberate the kingdoms, they are. Pipus crests the top edge of the stairs in front of his throne and comes to an abrupt stop. There on the throne sits a Death Singer.
Oh my word.
Death Singer. Casually reclines, looking over his sword. This is the first time we've seen the Death Singer sit, so it carries additional value. Ingresses, get off my throne! It belongs to me! The Death Singer turns lazily towards Figis.
Does it? I think I have earned the right to sit here as much as you have.
You literally just said you didn't have any intention of ruling Ardonia. And Death Singer pats aside the throne as he continues to sit in it.
He's
Typhus
tired.
reaches for the battle axe, but stops himself. The Death Singer continues to meet his eyes, but tightens his grip on the sword, preparing for a fight.
Oh, my word.
Finally, Typhus finally backs down, and Death Singer has
Oh,
asserted
my-
his dominance. Wait, why would Typhus just
Whoa.
surrender?
What? What?
Typhus wouldn't just surrender, would he?
What?
Typhus is like, Typhus is like, oh, I hate my father for making a smart decision, and
but it's one in
Death
the
Singer
right
gets up out of the throne.
Okay.
Typhus is like, oh man, I hate my father for making a smart decision and not getting our people killed, so he's weak, I'm gonna kill him, and then proceeds to make a smart decision and not go up against the Death Singer. He deserves to get stabbed by his own son now, if by his logic.
Alright. I have waited far too long for your cooperation, Pythus. I will go to Ataraxia and reclaim the Prime Songs myself. The kingdoms, the Ender Knights, and the rest of your enemies I leave to you.
The Death Singer strolls past Pythus, leaving him standing on the steps. The Angel of Death lands beside Pythus. We can no longer rely on these Voltaris scum to aid us in battle. The resistance grows in strength as we linger in their domain. We must draw a new weapon against our enemies. Back at Flora, it is evident that the battle is going very poorly. The Magarians are having a hard time fighting in the jungle, and many Sidonia soldiers are falling to the blades of the Wither skeletons. Well, great. That's not good at all. Denny and Thunderdome fight the Wither at Flora, but are unable to get a good attack on it. Scorch arrives at the battle with Nether reinforcements. Keep them inside the city. Let none escape. My Scorch voice. Greg is fighting off a few Wither skeletons when he stumbled and lands on the hardwood blockways. Last! He kicks a nearby Wither skeleton away and gets back up to grab his sword. He tries to hold it steady, but sees it shaking in his hands. Another Wither skeleton attacks approaches, but Nika jumps from the side and kills it. Saxon and Trevor are fighting. No, Greg, please no. Saxon and Trevor are fighting. I'll tell you what, I don't want it to happen. Saxon and Trevor are fighting their way along a bridge where Scorch appears at the opposite end. They both turn around, but the Wither skeletons come from behind. They are attacked from both sides and fight back to back. Scorch is able to knock Saxon down. As Trevor turns, the Wither skeletons disarm him and begin dragging him and Saxon off. No! Please no! Tide Singer's staff hits the ground in front of the camera, and the camera reveals the Tide Singer, who then rushes forward and fights Scorch. He's able to push him back, but in the break from their fighting, notices many of the Knights of Verdonia being killed. He sees Scorch smile, uses one of his songs to either distract, Scorch, or get away. I have never had so many voice failures in a single sentence. A single word. Down below, Tide Singer meets up with Hubris and Rhea.
We've lost our momentum. We must fall back now.
We can't retreat. We'll never get this chance again.
Then we will find another day, but if we continue this and we fight... Oh my goodness. Then we will find another
Rhea
way.
looks around, seeing her soldiers and allies falling in the distance.
Retreat! Back to the portal!
The Knights start pulling back to the portal. Saxon and Trevor are still being taken captive. Masani is retreating towards the beacon as well, shooting skeletons for bow. Suddenly she spots a civilian being attacked. That's Lyra, isn't it? A female Felina. Her eyes go wide as she recognizes it as the person she mentioned to Onyx she cared about.
Lyra!
Masani advances forward towards Lyra. Lyra is trying to help other civilians not be killed in the chaos when a nearby civilian is cut down by a Wither skeleton. She goes over there and to see if the person is okay, then the Wither skeleton comes for her. She picks up a weapon and is around. On the ground and tries to defend herself, but is quickly stricken down. Lyra is injured and about to be killed when the arrow hits the Wither skeleton, killing it. She looks over and is surprised to see Masani with her bow drawn. They both smile for a moment until Masani's face becomes suddenly pained. No, she dies! Who shot her? Why?
Oh, man.
Wait, Murray, that means if you
We
get
don't
cast,
talk
you have to do
about
a pained gasp.
I know.
The camera draws back and an arrow is sticking through Masani. She collapses forward dead. Okay, well at least she saved Lyra's life.
Lyra!
That's kind of a win. That's like a win-lose situation. Back at the beacon, Lucan and Nika find themselves caught up in the retreat. So Lucan still exists. I'm glad to see that. They go through the portal as Denny and Thunderdome flying above. A shot of Lyra holding up Masani's dead body. Sad. It literally says sad on the document. I'm not even joking. Tidesinger is the last through.
Yeah.
After making sure everyone else was safe. Upon arriving back in Meridian, he quickly removes the Nether Star so no one can follow them through. Abigail flies down on Lunar and looks worried.
Literally, they're just going to be killing off characters left and right in this season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh
Insane.
yeah, this season's hard already for me. Like, we lost
Yeah.
Onyx,
Her
we
attack
lost
failed.
Nasani.
What happened?
We lost Tigrin. I might as well mention that because when Sine watches this video, she'll probably want me to say that for her. So I'll say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We'll mention Tigrin,
Okay,
sure.
we lost Tigrin. Yes, we did.
Okay. Do you want me to say the
Sure.
line? Okay.
Yes, say the line.
Our attack failed. Yeah. Our attack failed. It was chaos. I should have expected more Nether forces to arrive. Many of
Oh,
them
speaking of
nice
Sine, we were just
by
talking
mistake.
about you. You're here.
Wow.
I
Alright,
acknowledge
wait a minute.
Tigrin's death for you. You're welcome.
Oh, my goodness.
At least acknowledge him. Okay. Moving on.
They weren't gonna acknowledge him, but then I did.
Denny flies down on Splendordome. Abigail looks at Denny. Where are Saxon and
Where's Saxon and
Trevor?
Trevor?
Oh yeah, they got captured. I forgot about that almost.
What?
Denny removes his helmet. Scorch.
Sine, you
No, wait,
already
no,
read
Sine,
the
you've
script.
read the
You know this.
script.
Yeah, I know.
You just
Scorch
I
nearly
played
killed them,
the
but
part,
took
I
them
have
as
to
prisoners
act
instead.
surprised.
Luke and
I
Nika
have
look
to
at each
act
other. Borgin
surprised.
walks up. Us Magrites fought on solid ground,
Sine,
not
they-
hanging from trees.
Sine.
Many Carfin soldiers died today.
Needed the capitals to utilize the beacons. What now?
Everyone stops and gradually turns to the Tidesinger for guidance.
I love how the Tidesinger is just literally just like it's just like okay. We must find the other Prime songs before the Death Singer does.
Cuts to Pyphus entering a building in Crown Peak. He goes inside alone. Upon entering the desired room, he finds Volcanus turned away, looking over the balcony.
Hey, finally I get to say something.
You know I wouldn't come here if I had any other choice. Who wants to do Volcanus?
Well, I'm going to do him.
Okay,
Thought I was gonna
Volcanus
get to do
waits
him in
a
episode
moment
1. I never
and
did.
speaks without turning to face Pyphus.
Inspiration we need. Who speaks little hears much, and he who watches from afar sees all. I'm waiting for you, Pythus.
Turn around and face your king. Volcanus lights a rebellious
Hey,
moment, then
brothers.
turns around.
Bruh,
They
you guys
brothers.
are broskies.
I'm a big
Pythus
brother.
is his
I
little
don't do
brother,
that to my.
actually.
Exactly.
I
Are they
have
brothers?
two little
Yeah,
brothers.
they are.
I have two little
Pythus
brothers,
is
and I
his little
don't do that
brother.
to them. Okay, Volcanus needs to learn. Pythus needs to learn how to be a better brother. Volcanus waits a rebellious moment, then turns around from this view of the city and faces
Danny needs to
Pyphus.
take note.
He appears neither happy nor angry, but obeys his king regardless. If you have indeed observed the situation so keenly, then you know it is dire.
Your grip on the Overlord has grown weak.
Overlord?
Much is clear.
The Overlord. You know what that made me think? It literally made me think of Ninjago. I'm not even kidding. That was the first thing I thought of when I heard Overlord.
The Overlord? Did I
Does
say that?
anyone
I'm
remember?
sorry.
Does anyone remember Ninjago? If you remember Ninjago,
Yes,
you're a
I
legend.
watched it.
Yeah,
I watched
it.
the movie.
You guys
I don't
are
think that
legends if you know
counts.
it. If you know it.
All of the Lego movies.
I can't fight all our enemies
Seasons
alone.
Now
You are the most
forever.
powerful Netherin alive, with the exception of myself. He's still just subtly roasting him.
With the
You have
exception
proven
of
yourself
myself.
unpredictable, and that makes you dangerous. Volcanus continues to face Pyphus, saying nothing.
The fight.
Volcanus is a chill dude.
Volcanus, I have assigned you to lead the battle against the Ender Knights. The Nether and Ender armies will go to war once again. Volcanus slowly nods and smiles. Cuts to Ataraxia. Lucidius! He has a line!
Hey, my boy!
Val sits high.
Sine, you voiced it.
Val sits high on one of the small
Yes,
islands,
yes,
patrolling.
Oh boy, no, they're
She turns as
attacking
she notices
Ataraxia.
something, then swoops down
Doesn't
and flies
matter.
out over
Love my
Ataraxia
boy.
and across the mountain range to the north. Honestly, if Lucidius kills everyone, then at least it was Lucidius.
Come on.
Right, exactly.
She turns as she notices something, then swoops down and flies out over Ataraxia and across the mountain range to the north. She stops and looks down at the mountainside. At the base of the mountain, the Death Singer is fighting with the Guardians of the Lake. They have him detained with their energy. Oh my god, the Guardians are
Not
besting him.
Hey.
This reminds me of that scene from Trial and Error, actually. Suddenly, electricity zaps
yeah.
all the small Guardians at
Aggressive
once,
gets-
and another
Oh,
Voltara
yeah.
steps up behind the Death Singer. I love that scene. Having just finished attacking
Hey.
with the song. Snake, go.
Oh, yes.
I just want to hear Fire with her Lucidius impression right now.
Oh, can't wait to see that Fire's Lucidius impression.
Great.
Bruh. If the ancient guardians do not grant us safe passage, then we must take it for ourselves.
The Death Singer draws his sword now that his hands are
That's
free
right.
from the
That's
Guardian's
right.
restraint.
That's right.
The Elder Guardian races out of the water and the Death Singer faces it. As they make eye contact, the Death Singer sees some flashbacks of his life and almost appears sad as he sympathizes with the Elder Guardian. Another zap of electricity, all focus on the Elder Guardian, suddenly
Flashbacks. Why didn't we get to
everything
see
is quiet.
them? Come
The
on.
Elder Guardian's eyes slowly closes and it sinks into the water dead. No, the Elder Guardian was my favorite character.
Oh, man.
The Death Singer continues to look sad as Lucidius stands beside him.
The path is clear, Ingressus. We wait for you.
The Death Singer furrows his eyebrows and wades into the water despite his
I think
hesitations.
Lucidius is taking Tigrin's place quickly.
I don't think Sine would mind
That's
that.
right. Take up the mantle. Take up the mantle.
Oh my word, Sine.
And if Lucidius dies, then Zenaida can take the man. Wait, no, he's already dead. I'm so stupid. How did I remember that?
What did you say?
He said that if Lucidius dies, then Zenaida can take it, but Zenaida's... That's like when
can't.
Fire...
Zenaida's
That's
already
like,
dead.
it's like Fire in Chapter 9 of Resurgence. She's writing Zenaida's dialogue.
No.
Zenaida's dead.
Oh, it got worse than that.
She did? She actually did?
The masters had names. Like, two of them had names. She's like, I came
They
up
do
with
have-
names
Like, what,
Two of them
for
have-
masters, and I was like,
I came up with names for the
Aurelia?
masters. Wait, she
you said
didn't
their names
know
were
that they
already
had
in Site 3,
names.
You just came up with other ones, and she's like, I cannot believe I just did that.
Big brain.
She actually forgot Zenaida died. Okay, I can't make fun of her. I did too.
My poor boy, but
Mhm.
I'm losing all of
Okay, I've
them.
had similar
Oh
before.
my god.
Zenaida, now it's Tigrin.
Death Singer furrows his
Yeah.
eyebrows and wades into the water despite his hesitations. Well, first it was Hawken.
Wait a second.
Val hurriedly
afraid of
flies backwards
water.
toward the city
Is
and
Death
lands in
Singer afraid of
Gallius'
water?
blacksmith.
Come on, buddy. You know you're afraid of water.
Oh, wait, no!
Death
No,
Singer
no, no,
is
no, no,
secretly
no.
a Felina. It's confirmed.
No, wait, no.
The
I know
Voltaris,
why.
they're coming.
No,
They've killed the Elder Guardian. Wait, no. That's not my line!
No.
I'm panic reading so much I forgot that Val was read by Nimuri.
Uh-huh. Okay. Gallius.
Oh no, you
There
didn't
we
say
go.
no, Nimuri, you didn't read the line.
I'm just being... I did.
I didn't hear it. Did you like
Did it
did your
cut
mic?
out?
I think it did. I think that's what happened.
I read it. Yeah,
I heard it.
well, Taurus, they're coming. They
Okay,
killed
whatever.
the Under Guardian.
I'll just take it. I'll just take that. Gallius looks up worried.
Guardian.
I will send our fastest bird to the knights. Slow the Voltaris if you can, Val, but stay safe. I need you. Val nods and hurries out. Merlin!
And I-
Merlin! My boy!
Oh.
Merlin flies into the room. Fastest bird, I heard you say. I love Merlin's
Yes.
voice.
Yes, Merlin.
Cuts to the small buildings on the cliff. Voltaris are setting fire to some of the buildings. In the stables, we see Timber pacing about. Timber! My boy! He's finally back!
Oh my word. If
Can
they
Timber just-
kill Timber? If they
Do not
kill Timber,
kill
I
Timber.
will
If
be.
Timber kills every single one of the bad guys, I'll be wholly
No,
satisfied.
They aren't allowed to kill Timber. They are not allowed to kill
If they-
Timber. I will kill everyone if
kill
they kill
Timber,
Timber.
If
they
Timber
kill
dies,
Timber,
I will kill
I am
everyone in the world and then myself.
Okay, now that's a little dark.
Okay, I'm
That's
exaggerating
how I
it.
felt with Tigrin.
Really, but
Yeah.
we don't need that.
We
um,
kind of know about that.
Cuts to
today.
small buildings on the cliff. Voltaris
Okay,
are setting fire to some of the buildings. In the stables, we see Timber pacing about. He rushes to the edge of the stall and breaks the fence and hurries outside. A confused
Yes,
Voltaris
Timber.
looks at Timber, who kicks his back feet, sending the Voltaris flying. Timber and a few
gosh.
other
Yeah.
horses run off into the night. The main Voltaris group walk to the edge of the cliff
Hey,
and
Timber,
behold
get away.
Ataraxia.
Atarak. Only
Yes,
cowards
that's
and
right.
outcasts will we find here, Ingressus.
Yes,
We continue
this
across
line.
the fast bridge.
This
The
line.
first bridge, and once on the first floating island, the figure swoops overhead and drops a potion on them.
Ooh,
Is it
Watch
Saxon?
the
No,
skies,
it's no,
you
it's not.
I love this idiot.
guys, you
Oh my
idiot.
god,
Val-
he called us Zenaida! Bruh.
Val lands on the bridge in front of them and spreads her bright glowing wings brilliantly, then fires through a Gressing song, which runs between the Death Singer and Lucidius. The Death Singer quickly retaliates, but Val is quicker as she dives away out of sight. Val is like a gamer. Cut back to Meridian. Merlin flies down out of breath.
Boomer moment, Val.
Gallius, the Voltaurus, Ataraxia.
Wow, that was fast.
Abigail senses his meaning and leaps onto Luna, and they take off.
Abigail, wait.
I love Merlin. Abigail does not stop as she plunges upwards into the sky. Ha! That's the second time she's run off, despite people telling her not to.
Anyone and everyone
That
is
just
gonna
reminds
die.
that reminds me of Songs of War episode 4, where she ran away from Mr. Finch. Oh, I just realized Mr. Finch is still just vibing, isn't he?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, he's still vibing.
Mr.
I
Finch is
was
just gonna
probably
come out of
taken
nowhere
over
and
by
beat up
Nether.
everyone.
Like I'm taken over by the Nether.
Unless
wouldn't-
Mr. Finch is
do you think the
also
Nether
one
would-
of the free...
Do you think that the Nether would really
Yeah.
go for like a tiny farmhouse in the middle of the Underwood Forest, though?
I kind of doubt it.
And they have
Back
on the
when
capitals.
everyone was theorizing about who Abigail's parents were.
Finch singer.
Finch. If Mr. Finch just comes in and says, "All you guys forgot to harvest the sugar cane," and just like beats up everyone, I'll be happy.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
word, no.
That would be great.
Sure, hey,
Okay.
Abigail.
Back at Ataraxia,
Did you
fires are
have-
ablaze. A few Ardonian humans are attempting to resist the Voltaris, but many are getting killed. The Death Singer doesn't appear to stop. He's the Death Singer. What do you expect?
Ooh.
Val sweeps
Death
down under
Singer.
islands as the fighting rages on and kills a few Voltaris when she gets a chance. Coming across the Death Singer, she is forced to
No.
retreat again. She lands in Gallius' blacksmith and finds him scurrying around.
Oh,
Marie.
Gallius, why haven't you evacuated yet?
There is too much evidence here that could hurt us. Battle plans, strategies, locations of our hidden bases. Gallius tosses a bunch of books into the nearby forge.
We don't have time for this. How much is there?
This should be the last of it. Gallius tosses a map into the forge as well.
Good. I'll slow them as much as I can.
I believe that Gallius may be in danger.
I think he's gonna die.
We don't talk about that.
Everyone's gonna die.
Her song activates and her wings flap once, sending her flying out of the room. Gallius grabs his hammer off an anvil and heads to the door, but stops and takes one final look at over at his blacksmith. A sad smile penetrates his worried look, and he hurries onwards. Gallius is... I like how Gallius is a character who's kind of like Fallius, but also different from Fallius in a lot of ways.
Oh yes.
Definitely
Oh, yes.
different. Definitely different, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I
so-
wish that Fallius was
just
still
don't
alive and they could
kill-
like
just
have a
don't
scene
kill both
together.
Brothers. Just don't kill both brothers, please.
More fighting, Ataraxia defenders are starting to die more heavily. People are evacuating across the rear bridge. Deathsinger continues moving unstopped. Gallius arrives at the evacuation bridge when suddenly a song flies out of nowhere, hitting and destroying the bridge. Oh no! Intense music plays as the bridge falls away and the camera pans back, revealing Gallius stranded. Gallius turns and sees the Deathsinger approaching with his Voltaris, still somewhat far off. Gallius? No! Wait, Val can come and rescue him, right? Val flies down and lands in front of Gallius.
We don't-
Yes, who is unarmed, and she holds up both arm blades defensively as her wings turn off.
Unarmed. This is
Gallius
bad.
puts his hand on her shoulder. Val, this is not your fault. Sorry, it does not say fault. Val, this is not your fight.
We'll take them together.
We will not defeat the Death Singer. Our only hope now resides in finding the Prime Songs and having the Tide Singer wield them against the Voltaris. But he doesn't want to wield them. You must go.
Gallius.
Bruh.
The Tide
No.
Singer literally said, no one should wield their combined power. Val turns towards
Not my
Gallius, slowly
plan.
realizing the
Don't-
truth.
don't- No.
Gallius,
Val is unable to get her words out and say what she believes is her final goodbye on such short notice. My greatest achievements were not the tools I forged, but the students that I taught. Continue making me proud, Val,
Oh,
and let my
no.
teachings live on through you. He's gonna die. He's totally gonna die.
Oh no!
Val nearly cries at this, but holds it in and nods to him. It might have just been too hard to animate tears.
oh.
Her wings activate once more and she flies off just as the Voltaris arrive. Gallius turns and faces them.
I know your markings. I remember them well. You are the brother of Fallius and Darius.
No,
Oh,
he
no, I'm
leaves.
coming.
Gallius is just like, no, and then he just leaves. Gallius, indeed I am.
No.
My name is
Okay.
Gallius,
Close with
the
Fallius,
last surviving memory. Indeed I am. My
Close with
name is
Fallius.
Gallius,
Like, nope.
No,
last surviving
no,
member
this
of
is
my
exactly
family.
what I thought they were gonna do with Gallius. Don't make them do it with Gallius, please.
Wait, you thought they were gonna? You thought that Fallius was gonna die from the Death Singer?
No. I thought that they weren't going to kill Fallius. I was secretly hoping that he wasn't going to die. I thought they were going to capture him and torture him for the information.
What?
Oh my god. You know, I
Oh,
Okay, that
thought
sounds
the
like
exact
that sounds like
same
something
thing,
Fire
and
would
I
write.
was wrong.
It definitely sounds like
Yeah,
something
that's-
Fire would write.
Yeah, but Tigrin's not here anymore. Singer.
Aw.
You don't have to remind Sinead.
Don't
It's
have to
rubbing
rub it
salt
in.
into the wound.
Keep reading, keep reading, keep reading,
Um,
keep reading, keep reading.
Valius never told me, and if he did, I would not reveal their location to you. Deathsinger stops now very close to him, and holds his sword looking at it.
Do you know what your brother did to my people?
No,
No.
he was a champion against the Voltaris.
Champions, they called them.
Is
He
my
slaughtered
Gallius
my
voice-
family and nearly brought my clan to extinction. I was there. I was there when he killed the last of us.
Hey, that's the name of a video game. Do I do a decent Gallius voice, actually?
Yep.
The Deathsinger appears distant for a moment before turning his attention back to Gallius. No! No! Don't
For
do
killing
it!
the last of my family,
Oh no.
it is only fair that I kill the last of his.
No! Don't do it! Deathsinger draws his sword. Draws Voltar. Voltar!
Her.
Ingressus is a pirate now. Deal with it.
No.
This after Voltaris,
right
which we have
Not
rarely
right
seen
now.
him use until now. He begins slowly approaching Gallius, who appears serene in the face of danger. It cuts! No!
on,
Oh,
come
you gotta be
on,
kidding
come
me.
on.
It cuts!
Wait, Abigail could get him. Abigail could
Yes!
get him, please.
Abigail, please! Cut
Get him,
suddenly to
Abigail.
Abigail, who is racing. Zane and Murray actually know what happens. They're just, like, holding everything in.
So we're just here for
Cut suddenly
comedic
to
relief.
Abigail. Yeah, basically.
Uh,
Cut suddenly to Abigail, who is racing along on Luna as fast as she can, soaring over the mountains near Ataraxia. Back to the Deathsinger, he begins charging his staff with Zardonia energy. Oh, she could. Wait.
Get him. Get him.
Oh,
Abigail,
it's a montage. I believe it's switching between them rapidly, and she's not actually there, is she? No, she is. Oh, never mind.
outside of
Abigail
Ataraxia.
crests the mountains just outside of
That's
Ataraxia
it.
and spots the situation unfolding. The Deathsinger begins charging his Aggressium song, and the sound can be heard.
Oh god.
Abigail, are you gonna?
Abigail, save him.
Is she going to sacrifice herself? Abigail
Shush,
draws
shush,
her
shush.
sword,
Right. That can't be
and
right.
Luna dives quickly towards where
Abigail,
Gallius
save
is.
Gallius.
The Darth Singer.
Oh
Sorry.
my word.
The Death Singer fires his Aggressium song and it hits Gallius straight in the chest. No!
Yep.
Please, no. Okay, maybe he's not gonna die. Lunar roars and pulls her wings out to stop herself, but being too late to save Gallius.
Man.
Cuts to shots of Gallius and Val's... Abigail and Val's expressions, both of them in shock. Gallius falls backward over the edge. He dies instantly? He doesn't even get last words? That's so unsatisfying. Why didn't he get last words? I don't like that he didn't get last words.
Wow.
Okay, I
It's
am back,
so good.
guys. There was... Actually, no, wait, I have to fix my mic. I am back. There was a bit of an inconvenience. I had to move to the basement because I was being
Are you
too loud.
recording?
And yes, I'm recording. Of course I'm
Okay.
recording. Why would I start the intro?
You're off
Oh, there
in
it
a
is.
clown. You're off in a clown, so I'm just making sure.
Okay,
Just a quick
so the problem
double
with
check.
that is that I had to actually stop the recording and start another one, which means I will have to edit things together in WeVideo, and then I'll have to deal with the 2-hour exportation limit, which means I will probably have to split this into 2 videos again, and it's going to create a whole extra work. I'm not really happy about that, but at least we can continue. And
Can I like stop at episode 3 because like it's
stop at the
getting
end of
so late.
episode 3. We'll stop at the end
Yeah,
of
we
episode
can
3.
stop. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think it's
3
already almost
episodes is
done,
enough.
actually.
yeah,
Yep.
3
It's-
episodes.
Feeling it's almost done.
It's like 12 for me. Almost 12.
Oh wait,
almost
no,
midnight.
it's actually literally over. It's literally over because like
I
there's
think-
a bunch of gray text and it's over.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's almost
We didn't need
over.
to cut it.
Okay,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't... I still want to read the gray text, though.
I had a feeling it was over after this.
I'm just mad that
Mhm.
Gallius died with no last words at all. I think they were going to change
I
that in
don't
script
really
for
mind.
sure.
Tigrin died the way he did too.
Okay, the thing is, they were probably going to
Wait,
change that
Gallius
when they
died.
rewrote the script. I feel like they would have given him last
Yeah.
words for sure.
No, he technically already had last words for Val.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
He did. He's like you know his
Well,
like,
that
Um,
would have
like,
technically
song.
been his last
The Death
words.
Singer looks
Yeah.
up at Abigail and hovers in place. He raises Voltar towards her. I can't get over the fact that it's called Voltar. It reminds me so
Voltar.
much of
I
the
love it.
pirate meme.
Voltar.
He raises Voltar towards her and looks her in the eyes as the Ender King Rendor once did to him. Abigail matches his gaze for a moment, then flies away from the burning refuges of Ataraxia. To be continued. Alright, guys, episode 4!
No.
Can I at least read the
I'm
intro?
tired.
I want to at least read the introduction to see what happens. Camera
Please.
pans through the
Nope, we're gonna stop.
empty
No,
remains
stop.
of
Stop,
Ataraxia.
please, I'm dying.
It is
Dude,
haze.
we can't
Okay,
start
okay,
it.
okay, jeez. Okay,
I'm actually
jeez.
dying. I'm
Alright,
actually dying.
alright, we're
Eat
stopping
again.
it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the people who made Songs of War, and thanks to my friends for being here, and goodbye!